You are now listening to Nerd Rage Radio with Bobby Skullface and Adam Russman. This podcast is intended for mature audiences only and may not fit with your sensitive sensibilities. You may be a victim of meaningless outrage, or you may, in fact, be a big ninny pants. If this is the case, please feel free to turn it off now. This is no country for Ninny McNinny pants. So crack open the Mountain Dew. Make sure the cheese doodles are super fresh. We're in your mother's basement. It's Nerd Rage Radio.
And welcome to episode 173 of Nerd Rage Radio with your hosts, Bobby Skullface.
Present.
Joe Oh, no, Joe's not here.
Joe's not here. Joe might not be here for January as well now.
And February.
Dude.
But Chris Pinkerton's here.
What's up, party people?
And Chris Pinkerton is here for good. Why isn't that working?
I have no idea. Is this down?
Shouldn't be.
Here, does that need to be here? Does it need to be that? Does the mute need to be pushed on?
Third time's the charm, gentlemen.
Good grief.
Good golly, Miss Molly.
This episode sucks. Just turn it off.
I don't want to do it anymore.
My phone is like not working. There must be some sort of fucking weird vortex going on down
There
here.
it is. It's working now.
So anyway, the goal
And I'm Adam Russman. And the goal of this
was to talk about our newest addition to Nerd Rage. New co-host.
That's right.
Welcome to the championships, Chris Pinkerton.
I actually really enjoy this album. Thank you.
Very good.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. I appreciate it. I actually had something queued up on my phone I was going to play.
So step one was to get you to move to Maryland.
Yeah, well, you got that.
Check.
This is step two.
Step two.
Step three,
Cuckolding.
that's right.
Well, I asked if there was a pound of flesh for my wife. But I was going to play Kanye West on stage getting his Rockefeller chain.
Oh, yes,
You know,
yes.
I just wondering where my chain.
Man, how the times have changed.
Where my chain, guys?
Yeah.
Can I get my
As soon as
chain?
we get chains,
We're
going
on.
to get
Dude,
one
we should
extra
we
one.
should get chains.
Yeah.
And it's like old school,
Yeah.
fucking ugly ass braided chains.
Like a Cuban link.
Let me
Yeah.
see what I can come up with. I'm a pretty crafty
Nice.
guy.
Hopefully we'll get it out of the middle of the mall because that's where it's least expensive.
This is true.
Mall?
Mall? Darth Maul.
What is that? Darth Maul.
Get it out of the middle of Darth Maul when he's been cut open.
Which
in
middle?
half.
Which middle?
Lower part.
Okay, gotcha.
Right by the butt.
Dude, that fucking. Did I ever show you that one comic? It's like a guy he's like, hey man, here's some money I came into, and like he hands him, he's like, oh wow, they say just now what came into with my dick. Like he gets closer and
Oh,
closer.
Jesus Christ.
That shit is so funny to me. Like one of those badass driven, drawn cartoons, and like the last shot is like he's really close. It's just their faces, but it's like half of their faces and just the eyes mainly. My dick.
My dick.
So I show that to my wife all the time. Every time she's like, yeah, just do my, whatever. With my dick in her face. Right in her face. Not my actual dick in my face. My face in her
Dude,
face.
you're digging your face. It's fucking awesome.
Did I make the right decision?
No, you didn't.
Everybody's tried it.
Fucking trash. Anyway, welcome, episode 173. We got a lot to go over, I think.
Nope.
We don't?
I think we have a couple good discussion points though.
No, I've got a lot to go over.
Oh, okay.
I've actually read some comic books.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So thanks, Raoul the Machine.
How'd that Fight Club 2 come?
It was great.
Damn, man. Just give it back.
I've become you. I've actually thought about wrapping up for Christmas for you. Dude, I went a little overboard on you for Christmas this year, FYI.
Well,
But you know what? It's going to cost you.
yeah. I'll
No,
make.
you don't understand what I'm saying right now.
No, I don't.
It's gonna
but I don't
cost
want
you.
to give anything away. I didn't go overboard.
Not to spoil it.
I didn't go overboard for you for Christmas, but your Christmas gift is fucking awesome. Surprisingly expensive, but it's fucking awesome. But how I get you something the nice shit for your birthday?
It's going to be good stuff. Chris, I didn't get you anything for Christmas, man.
I didn't get you guys anything. Maybe is that next year when we start changing?
Yeah, maybe.
Well, I mean, we did invite you on our podcast.
I know.
Permanently.
I do have you something for your birthday.
Do you really?
Yes.
Speaking of which, You are probably working, but I'm gonna have a small gathering for dinner on my birthday, 5-ish.
So what day is your birthday on?
2 days after Jesus.
No,
Thursday.
It's a Thursday.
Thursday.
So I could probably take off Friday.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
because like I was gonna take off Monday.
Correct.
But now I don't have to take off Monday.
Well, it's that kind of party. Taking off the next
And
day.
I'm gonna get the last shot for the video there, and then I don't have to worry about it.
Oh, you're not gonna worry about bringing it to. Okay. No worries.
Just save myself that fucking stress.
So, are you getting that pizza that you're always raving about? Or are you gonna feed us
I don't
some
think so.
Domino's?
Probably Domino's, just because. Maybe Rose's. Rose's is good.
Anything but Domino's.
Okay,
That's
I'll
trash.
see. I'll see.
Is it
what Laura will
gluten
do.
free?
I'll have to look.
They might have it.
Dude,
Dude,
yeah.
Isn't it crazy how many restaurants are gluten free now?
No, not really. Not if you think about the numbers. If you play the numbers,
Maybe.
game. But like,
I mean, I've been on that kick for.
you're like the hipster of gluten.
5 years, 5 maybe 6. Actually, when did I move out?
Are you a hipster gluten?
Maybe.
Gluten.
Yeah, I started that shit. I'm saying I'm a trend starter, but I set that trend.
You're a glooster.
Do you wanna read us a poem about your gluten-free bicycle?
A haiku.
Oh, I got a phone call coming in.
Let's answer it. Why not?
Hello.
Hi, is this Mr. Robert?
This is him.
I'm calling from. How are you?
Oh, I'm well.
I was just calling to see if the appointment for you tomorrow at 7 was still all right.
Yep, perfect. I'll be there with bells on.
Perfect. We'll see you tomorrow then. I'll be looking forward to it.
All right, take care.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
We have to erase that.
No, it's my physical.
Oh, okay.
It's just
okay.
the hospital, the clinic I use for my physical.
Speaking of
Yeah, I tell you about that herpes.
Yeah.
flared up. Speaking of actually herpes flows right into what I'm about to just mention.
Like, no, it's a dried cornflake.
My brother-in-law is raising his son by himself because his ex-wife is in and out of jail. She's a mess.
I like him already.
And the little boy's got the flu, so he wrote a haiku. Here we go.
The little boy or your brother?
No, my brother-in-law.
Okay.
While smoking your rocks, your child is sick with the flu. It's cool, I got this. I thought that like
Yeah, it's
I literally LOL.
That's good.
Maybe is LLOL a new thing we should be doing? Because we toss around
Literally
LOL.
LOL.
We toss around LOL so casually.
I have
LL.
I'm not a fan of LOL.
Are you a
I'm an LOL guy.
What's that rolling in the floor, laughing my ass off? That's I don't know.
No, he sends a little like sticker of a puppy dog laughing.
It looks like he just sends a thumbs up. Like
No,
2
my
days
favorite
after
one
that.
is a
Yeah,
rabbit-looking guy with he's like his groin is like kind of pulsing. He's laughing. He's like a white stick figure.
Oh, okay, yeah, I know that one
He's my
too.
favorite.
His groin is pulsing.
Yeah, he's doing the.
Mine is there's different layers to mine. The worst, not the worst, but the least reaction you can get from me is a ha.
Yeah,
I just
it's trash.
It's like a
It's a scoff. You should just write scoff.
LOL usually means LQTM, laughing quietly to myself, and then we get into capital LOL. That's a laugh. Capital LMAO is a real laugh, and that's pretty much my. And then every now and then you get H. That's a real laugh as well. And if that's capitalized, it's a more intense. Ha 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 ha. Check out this.
Let's get a nerd. Let's get a nerd week.
Funny.
I also use BRB. I don't use BRB.
Yeah.
Only in verbiage do I use it.
Yeah, I only use that on AIM Messenger.
Yeah, you know this cat right here.
ASL. No, but he hit me up too.
No, fuck that dude. I don't like that shit.
IRQ chat.
Yeah, I ignored it as well. I ignore most friend requests. I got a friend request with a little instant message yesterday from. Do you remember Sarah? She was a neighbor of mine.
Sarah Silverman.
No, but I'm familiar with her.
Dude,
Funny.
I want to.
Yeah, she's attractive as well. This girl, Sarah, she lived in my neighborhood. And
I think I recall.
I mean, she was fine, but like we were friends before, and I just defriended her because I was like, "You're just taking space on my feed." And then she hit me up with a message and with another friend request, and I haven't looked at either.
Like, why did you defriend me?
No, it was just like, "Hey, long time." It was like all of a sudden, I just defriended her last week. It's like, bitch, are you keeping tabs on your friends? That's trash.
I wonder if there's an app for that.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I'm sure there's for Instagram, so I'm sure there's for Facebook. My wife got a wild ass message the other day. Some guy she went to high school with, like, I guess, found her on Facebook and sent her like a voice clip on Facebook, and it was This guy was just off the fucking rails. But she said that's just how he is. He's just wide the fuck open. I'm like, what the fuck? Why is this? She explained who it was. I'm like, it was like the aforementioned brother-in-law's friend from high school.
Gotcha.
Was he smoking the rocks too?
Probably not.
Okay. I mean, I'm not one to judge.
But we could write a haiku about while you're smoking your rocks.
I'm up for haiku time.
It's cool. I got this.
I got to make sure I add in all the shit that I did into my notes because I want to be systematic in expressing.
Well, Chris, why
what
don't
all
you
I
start
did.
then?
Okay, great.
Oh, shit.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
It's going to be fine, Bobby.
Went to see Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Spider-Man.
With the entire family.
Out of 10.
Easy 8.
Nice.
At least an 8.
Nice. Solid.
Everybody in my family enjoyed it, including my daughter, who hates everything.
Right.
She enjoyed it. Charlie sat through the whole thing, my little guy. He almost always has to have a bathroom break, I think mainly because he's bored.
Yeah.
Sat there the whole time, not a peep. Of course, Mason loved it. He loved Spider-Man. Kelly enjoyed it, too. So
Nice.
Everybody was...
Everybody wins.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do with that universe.
Yeah.
They keep building with it, and I think it's going to bring a lot of. I think it's going to bring some younger people into the audience for comics. If Marvel does a good job tying the comics into what they're doing there, and I don't know that they will, but
There's a rumor at one point they were going to have Tobey Maguire voice the older Spider-Man,
okay.
but they didn't want to confuse people, which I thought was stupid. I thought it'd been cool if like he was a Spider-Man and that was that Spider-Man universe.
Well, I think this Spider-Man is aware of the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. Like this Spider-Man universe is aware of the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man.
Spoil it
universe.
for us, Chris.
I don't want to. Really? You want me?
I don't care. Yeah.
Are you guys not going to go see it?
We're going to talk about Aquaman. Do you care about that being spoiled?
I don't care about that at all. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. I don't care about this.
Yeah,
Quid pro
okay.
quo.
So the opening sequence, you're in the whichever universe that Miles Morales is in, whichever dimension that is. That's where it's based. So the Peter Parker in that universe actually gets killed.
So that's the original.
Let's not get caught up in it.
Don't listen. Marilyn Phil could break this down.
Yeah.
It's the
the
Ultimate Universe.
Sure.
Yeah, the original
whatever
Ultimate,
number
the
it
original
is.
Ultimate Universe. Continue. Not 616, but go ahead.
In the beginning of it opens with the Peter Parker from that universe talking, and it does some things like shows him kissing MJ hanging upside down and holding the train back, a bunch of shit from those early
really?
movies. Yeah, so it nods to it really hard.
Oh wow. They killed Tobey Maguire.
Dude nods hard as fuck to it. You just see Chris's nod right now. It's
Like me listening to the West Coast rap on the way to New York City.
Ugh, it's too much.
Nah, it was fine. Actually,
I'm glad Chris is here.
totally realized something about that the other day. But
What's that?
So I was listening to a radio DJ, and he was talking about how the car culture influences a lot of what kind of music people listen to.
Mm-hmm.
West Coast music beats.
Mm.
I had a system in my car when I was a kid. Eric B. and Rakim, you're not getting the same knock for your your taste.
No, it's not that type.
That's a lot. I think a lot of the reason why.
What about Master Ace's booming system? I mean, Born to Roll.
I mean, you can find some.
And it had like cars in the video.
Maybe I don't know. You can find some. You can find some gems, but I think that's why I was always attracted to the West Coast music because of the bass.
And your love for flannel, of course.
Sure. And I had a 64 Impala. I had a 64 Impala in high school. I was all in on the West Coast game.
Southern music knocks too.
Oh, it does too. Yeah. I love all that.
Now everything uses the same 808, so it's like
And the run hi-hat. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with that.
Back to Peter Parker.
Oh, that's right. I forgot where we were.
Stay on target.
It's impossible here.
Stay on
impossible.
target.
Without spoiling the whole movie, it was.
Was it a flying green goblin? Like
There was.
yeah, that's a
that
good
kid-
question.
that
Who are the
killed-
villains?
So the main villain is Kingpin.
Okay.
Oh crap!
he's had a lot of play here recently.
Yeah, he is.
We
This
got
is
a Marvel Legend. We got the Daredevil. We got the.
He was
Prowler.
influential in the. So his uncle.
So Prowler's in it. Tombstone is in it. Scorpion is in it.
And I saw one scene where like the other Peter Parker kind of glitches out, like he's like a computer glitch.
That's a whole part of the story
The
about them being
subplot.
in the wrong dimension. Yeah. So there's a Green Goblin, but he's huge. He's like some monster. Green Goblin.
So is that the Green Goblin from Miles' universe?
Yes.
So it is the Ultimate Universe.
Yeah, because that's who
He flies without like a ship and throws fireballs without anything.
he was they were in some sort of containment thing, and he was fighting Spider-Man, and that's when Miles first got
Okay.
mixed up with all of it.
How did Miles get his powers? I don't know.
I don't know.
So in this movie, it's is it Alamax? It's Doctor. So you remember that horrible Superior Spider-Man book you read?
I'll never forget it.
What was the name of the company? Was it Alamax or something?
Who can be bothered, Christopher? It was so bad.
So many people can be bothered.
Continue. Anyway.
There was a robot spider that bit him. And
Okay, it had a sample of Peter Parker's blood in it.
sure,
or some
but
shit.
his powers are different.
Really? How so?
He can turn invisible, and he's got
Really?
and some electricity action going on.
Huh. Does he have spider sense and
Yeah, he
still
has
strong?
spider
He has
sense.
better powers than Spider-Man,
Sure.
right?
I
He's got all Spider-Man's powers plus.
Plus, yeah, he can take a punch and bounce back. There's some plot devices in it that it's like so he goes away to a I guess he's at some magnet school, but it's like you stay there all week and come home on the weekends.
Yeah.
And that plot device doesn't. I never have figured out what that serves. Why I need to know why they did that.
Maybe just to stay smart.
I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But you get
Smart.
You get so many
Spider-Gwen.
of the others. Yeah, you get Spider-Gwen. You get Spider-Man Noir, voiced by the always wonderful Nicolas Cage.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So does he have like guns that shoot webs?
Who's that?
Spider Noir.
I don't remember.
Is
if
he a
shot
Peter
or not.
Parker as well?
He's a Peter Parker from. I think in it they do a good job explaining this
It's from the Spirit Universe.
But he is Peter Parker.
from like 1938 or some shit.
Yeah,
in that
Sin City.
division.
And Gwen just got bit by the spider instead of Peter, and Peter died in her universe.
Correct.
Okay.
So that is all told.
Yeah.
Spider Ham is in it, which
Yeah, I heard his rendition is very different than the comics. I no, seriously.
Okay.
Like I heard that like it's like that's the biggest like
Change.
change.
And then that one girl that's got a robot.
yeah, and that's apparently very very different as well.
I don't really care.
It's
And there's so many other Spider-Mans they could have gone with. Like, why those two?
they have to start somewhere, Adam.
Am I a
Yeah.
racist Spider-Man? The greatest line of Spider-Verse. Only thing that made Spider-Verse worth reading to me was when he's like, isn't it weird there's a Japanese Spider-Man? I don't know, dude. I never really thought about it. Oh my God, am I the racist Spider-Man?
You know, I will say Marvel and Sony were
Marvy, it's fine.
Marvy. That's
Marvy,
what,
We will refer to Marvel's collective as Marvy. from now on.
Marvy Weinstein.
no, that's the Marvel.
No, Stein is fine, Steen is mean. Marvy Weinstein.
Wow. Well, that's just the. That's just God. The Marvel Sony stuff is Marvy going forward.
Okay.
It's a Marvy movie. Thank God they didn't mention Venom in any capacity.
I still haven't seen that movie yet. Did you like it?
No.
Okay.
Honestly, if it hadn't had Venom attached to it, I would have never watched it because I just don't watch movies like
And
that
Yeah, but-
theoretically, it could have been better. Ironically.
because they were held down by.
Yeah, like
Well, no, what were they held down by?
I think if it was just like some alien monster suit, and it was just
Yeah.
called Alien Monster Suit, you know what I mean? I think you'd be like, hey, it wouldn't be bad. As far as alien monster suits go, not too bad.
Yeah, it works just fine. I can't. I don't remember where I was, but
All right, so Spider-Verse. You're ruining it for us.
yeah, I was ready. No, I don't remember where in that story I was. Nonetheless,
But it was good. You enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it. Yeah, I
Nice.
wouldn't mind watching it again.
Nice.
It's very visually.
Is there going to be a Spider-Verse 2?
I would fully imagine so.
But like,
Yeah.
there's more story to tell inside having multiple Spider-Mins.
Absolutely, they teased something
Okay.
from.
Spider-Man's dick.
They did.
my dick
It was drawn. It was a dick shadow.
came into
Dude,
it.
I saw this Instagram post. Somebody had like this. It was like her, you know, and then a colon, and it said, "So what are we gonna watch on Netflix?" And then underneath there was a picture of her, like this dick shadow across her.
It seems appropriate.
Cam put it up.
At the very end, they went to the year 2099.
Oh, sweet.
Then I'll leave it at that. But
Nice.
it is all over the place animation wise.
Oh, they change up the animation styles?
They do somewhat
In order to make sense of the universes? Or just
not
randomly?
necessarily, just kind of randomly done.
That's
Excuse
weird.
me. I enjoy the hell out of it. It's very visually captivating.
Like scene by scene, the anime style change?
No, it's just they use different things. Sometimes there's word bubbles for no reason.
Oh.
You know, when they get their spider sense, they get the squiggles.
Yeah.
What,
Which is cool.
His head is hot. It smells bad.
What I was getting to a minute ago is Marvy.
Weinstein.
From a demographic standpoint, Miles is African American and Latino.
Correct.
Yeah.
Puerto Rican and
Yeah.
yeah.
So they knew. I think they knew the direction they were going. Targeting. I think an audience that embraces that character, and I think they can really grow their fan base.
And he's also like, I mean, he's a lot of
Afro-Hispanic, I think they referred to him.
he's a lot of kids Spider-Man. You know,
yeah,
like,
absolutely.
you know?
A lot of kids. I mean, Mason was telling me I think he's only been around for like 7 years. Does that sound right?
Yeah, supposedly it's a really cool character. I haven't read that
Yeah.
much with him in it to make a solid opinion on it. But supposedly, I mean, he's a really cool character. I like the Nas cover, you know, like the
Yeah.
Marvel Nas cover. That was fucking cool.
The soundtrack. I mean, I know it's not probably anything either one of you would enjoy. The soundtrack's actually pretty good.
I listened to it.
Okay. I know it's got Post Malone in it, so I really love Post Malone.
I do too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's fucking great,
Yeah,
man.
It's like you don't want to tell people, but it's like
Yeah, but he's fucking good.
album. Funny story about Post Malone.
He's helping me know the vibes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I can't get down with a haircut, but
No, there's a lot of stuff about him personally I can't get down with, but his music is fucking good.
I was at a work event. We were up in Toronto, team building exercise. We went to the.
Oh, did you guys fall back onto one another? Like you close your eyes and
No,
you like
no,
fall?
No, it was escape room.
It was the
They were at
exact.
an escape room.
So you're both wrong. We were at a place where you throw axes,
Oh, nice.
and
That might be worse.
Paul Bunyan.
it was actually a lot of fun. But the girl that was there, and I guess we were there at an odd time, so they weren't actually open except for us, and the girl working was playing phone music off her phone or whatever. And I don't know the name of the song, but that Post Malone song, it says, "Put that pussy in a motherfucking
Dude, that
body
shit is
bag."
that's
hard as
my
hell.
jam.
But
It was the first song after Rockstar that I listened to that I was like, okay, time to take him seriously.
Yeah. But to hear that, and I mean, I think maybe I listen for music and other people hear music, because I heard that song. I'm like, oh shit, this is playing right now in front of all these. You know, it wasn't me playing. I just thought that was funny.
Uppity white people. Go ahead and say it.
Yeah.
This is-
Why
this is-
why are you assuming that I'll work with all white people?
I'm not.
You just make
I'm assuming that's what you're going to say.
yeah, but dude, that line in there.
YouTube's going to get us, so we got to keep
No,
talking.
yeah, we got to keep talking over it. Exactly. But like, you know, I'll put that. I'll put that pussy in a motherfucking body bag, so you know that I'm never ever coming back.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have those memories per se because I've been with my girl for so long, and I haven't had many partners outside of her. But I remember my first serious girlfriend, and I was getting after that one. And I remember the last time in my head that I was like, I'm probably not going to get this again. And I remember thinking to myself, go for it. Like,
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I have distinct memories of
Yeah.
several occasions where it's like,
yeah.
or halfway, you're halfway through and you say, okay, I'm probably done with this now. Let's just put a bow on it.
Yeah. Good stuff.
I came into some money. Would you like to see it? See
Here
how
you go.
that's- see how
I
that's
came
tied
to
back
money.
in. The only other super interesting thing I've been watching. We tend to binge watch shows at the house. We watch TV while we eat dinner
Really interesting. Never heard that before.
as a family.
Okay.
So right now we're binge watching through Parks and Rec.
Oh.
Have you guys watched Parks and Rec?
I've watched parts. Actually, I want to get into that. It's on my list of things to do.
It is so good.
Because it's in the same vein as
It's
The
literally
Office.
The Office, but set
It's
in
like a
a
spinoff.
It's not technically a spinoff, but it's the same interview style, I guess you
Yeah,
want to call
yeah.
it docu comedy.
Mockumentary.
I don't even know, but there's no just like The Office. There's no voice. There's never the thing about The Office is by the end it's like they're talking about this documentary and then
Did they actually do that? Like,
Yeah.
At the end, they actually said it was a documentary.
Yeah, and they broke the fourth wall at one point in time because Pam, and I know this so well because we just got to watching
it. Yeah.
She kind of falls halfway for one of the
one of the
boom mic
yeah,
operators. And they have a
that's
relationship,
right.
so it kind of breaks the fourth wall.
In the American one.
I thought she got married to Jim.
She did.
She does, but
then
for a
Jim goes
time,
away
because I mean
to-
that's just like 8 seasons. Like there's
Oh.
a time where she gets into like one of the boom mic guys.
Well, it's 'cause
that are,
Jim-
Oh, before they got married?
Yeah,
No.
like they're like
No.
Oh, is after they got married?
Because see, Jim was he took that job starting the athlete is the thing. It was basically a rep company for athletes to try to get them endorsement deals.
Yeah.
So he was gone all the time.
How challenging do you think it is for a man?
Oh, they already had a kid?
Yeah, they already had 2 kids.
Oh,
At this
so he
point.
was cheating on Jim.
No, they never got that far, but it was a
Sluts.
call and talk and
How challenging do you think it is for a man named Jim who has a middle name that starts with an E and he wants to have his middle name put into his announcement of his name but doesn't like the name Jimmy?
then he's gonna be James.
Wouldn't that suck?
Hmm.
Jim E. Weinstein. Like, no, dude, just please put a longer pause between the
It's
Jim.
Jim.
Jim E.
It doesn't work. It doesn't work.
I think that guy needs to rethink his whole direction.
Yeah. So Parks and Rec.
Parks and Rec, yeah. Just random ass shit I watch. Past that, listen to Meek Mill's album. Enjoyed that.
It's fucking amazing.
Yeah, I've listened through a couple times. I enjoy that. I went to IKEA with the wife.
Maybe the best flip of Phil Collins in the Air Tonight ever.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
Like just the use of the sample and the energy of it and the vibe. Like it's at least on par with the Button one, and it might have it. I haven't decided yet. I don't want to fall into like new girl love with it and make wild claims that I later regret. But
Have you ever heard the Non-Point cover of that? It's very good. I think it's Non-Point. I don't know. Went to IKEA with a wife. They say if you can survive IKEA with your wife, you can survive anything.
Really?
What? You
No,
don't know?
I've been to IKEA with my wife frequently.
I think it's for the wife that generally loves to shop at IKEA.
Oh.
You see?
Oh.
So I wanted to. I had the original plan was my wife won't tell me what the fuck she wants for Christmas. Here we are. What is today? The 20 whatever.
19th.
Yeah. Okay. And at this point, she's like, "Hey, you wanted to go to IKEA, didn't you?" Yeah. Well, let's go to IKEA, and I'll see if I can find something. Long story short, she didn't find anything.
I was going to say, lucky girl can always use another DTOF, right?
Dude, I think I'm out of the DTOF game.
Oh, really?
I'm out of the DTOF game. Yeah. I don't want to.
Show your hand.
I don't want to show my hand, but I think I came up with something.
Oh, really?
It's going to be
Game
Better?
changer.
Better?
yeah. game
Dude,
changer.
I'm surprised that there's not another market. Somebody's not building something that doesn't come from Asia and that's like $3,000 like Joe's getting. There's got to be a better solution out there.
I don't want to play my hand just yet.
Oh, okay.
But even my wife is on. Even,
entrepreneur here.
even my well, no, not necessarily. It's thinking outside the box a little bit,
So to speak.
so to speak. The wife's even on board with it, so
Nice.
we'll see how that goes. Maybe after Christmas, we'll rearrange some stuff. But I've been grinding like crazy on diorama stuff.
It looked good, man.
Thank you.
You've like jumped 2 or 3 levels now.
Well, that machine is a
Game
Yeah.
changer.
difference.
Yeah.
It's a game changer.
That fucking JD Japanese that shit.
Yeah, they look good.
Holy fuck.
They look really good. Yeah. So I mean, I did a Black Panther truck.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, guy was super
looks
happy with
looks
it.
great, but
Yeah.
it's an odd choice of vehicle
It was
for
a,
that.
well. Listen, he
I feel
sent
like
me,
culturally they're at odds.
he sent,
Killmonger's truck.
he sent me a picture of a Hot Wheels that was done in this same deco,
I got
Yeah.
you. I
and
got
said, "That's for a 5-year-old." I said, "Dude, I'm gonna be honest with you. These aren't made for heavy play. I can't tell you how long the paint's gonna last. I'll seal it the best I can."
Yeah.
And he said, "No, it's fine." I sent him a message
Cool.
and said, "Do you have this Hot Wheels car? Can you use it for reference?" He said, "Yeah, I bought it for my kid. He lost it in about 5 minutes." So, but he got it today. He sent me a message and said he loves it.
Nice.
Perfect.
Cool.
So that's all you can ask for. I'm finishing up an 18th scale shipping container for
I saw that.
G.I. Joe
Those
scale.
doors look badass.
Yeah. I painted it today. It's for the guy does the acid rain figures. You guys familiar with that?
Yes.
Is it similar to Chocolate Rain?
Very similar.
Chocolate rain.
It's
Dude,
like
I need to
a
pull that off.
It's an apocalyptic
it's like a-
4-inch figures.
yeah, they're like They're like GI Joe third party in a way,
Okay.
but they're not GI Joe characters. They're like original characters.
And
Okay.
I'd say quality and build wise, they're going to be a good bit better. From what I've seen.
I would imagine.
So there's a bunch of different factions and stuff for that, and he wants the Bucks, whatever team that is.
I need to
logo put
I
on
need
the
to
side.
hit you up about helping me with some of the styrofoam mountain stuff for our big campaign coming up here soon.
And train tracks.
And
your
train
train
tracks
set.
for my train set.
You know, it's
Dude,
funny,
we didn't put
man.
out the train at Christmas, the
We
tree
didn't,
this
we
year.
didn't either.
Yeah, I think that's just.
I had
Dude,
a-
I'm kind of over the train shit.
I had 2 interesting conversations about trains recently. One, I was in the Toy Exchange in Mount Airy.
And one was with a porn star.
So maybe I had 3 conversations about trains. And anyways, I was talking to I guess it's the owner's son that works in there, who I've developed somewhat of a casual hello relationship with. And we
A
were
casual sexual relationship with. Continue.
that's where I run my trains. Well, half that store is train stuff.
Yeah.
And
correct.
And I was just kind of
Easily.
BSing with him, and he was telling me that basically eBay keeps them open. That
Oh,
the store
really?
is just kind of a front, but he said the train stuff. He said that stuff goes gangbusters. And
Yeah.
I said, what's going to happen in 10 years when all those guys are dead? And I'm being morbid, but
Yeah.
he's like, yeah, you're right, because could you imagine any of our children have the attention span to sit and watch a train for 4 hours? No, absolutely not.
What
And-
it depends on. I hope.
oh
not,
God, Bobby.
but, you never know.
Well, they do have that. They do, Bobby. They do have that Ho scale. It's HO. I'm sorry, I thought it was Ho scale.
Oh man.
And it's funny. My brother. I was talking to my brother the other day, and he's like, if you still live down here, I could really see us having a big train set in one of our houses, and you building all the dials and stuff for him. I'm like, yeah, that would be cool, I guess. And then I had that same conversation with him. I'm like, I don't see how that's gonna last for very long. But I got that great big hallway I'm painting this week. I'm looking forward to knocking that out.
Yeah, it looks good.
Space hallway. Yeah, a lot of little engineering stuff. Now the cool thing is though, now that that's done, anytime somebody wants that, load the material and
Reproduce.
yeah, exactly. So, and that's something that, no, I don't want to talk about it on here. I want to talk to you about pricing around,
Yeah.
this is how much I charge for the initial one to design it. How
Yeah.
much do I charge
Yeah.
on the back end for the second, third? And like I finished one today, and it is probably the 5th time I've done that same design. 3rd time on the machine.
Dude,
So-
speaking of pricing out stuff, just a quick story. When I was at Busch Gardens, I almost put my foot in my mouth so bad. So they had these little like shops as you walk around and whatnot, little artist shops.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm walking around, and we go to this one place in like Italy, and it's all this kind of like trendy art things. Like somebody would have like a nice frame that they've colored over, and they've started like painting a little Italian scene on it. But it might be like a bird in the scene, but there's also a bird glued on the foreground of the painting, so it's like 3-dimensional or some shit, like artsy shit.
Mm-hmm.
But you look at the price tag, it's like $600, and I'm like, motherfucker. And I was like, I almost looked over, and I was like to the person behind the counter, I'm like, who the fuck buys this expensive ass repurposed bullshit that some kid in China's fucking gluing, making 1,000 of them at a time, because they're going. And so as I'm about to say that, somebody goes over and they're like, "Are you the artist?" Like, yeah, I've handmade all of these pieces right here and there. I'm like, oh,
Oh, you almost did.
dude, I was literally turned to make some like snarky comment after my 3rd or 4th alcoholic beverage, and it was like this lady that had no idea. And all the artwork was there. She's like a private person that rented out the space for the season there.
She's a private dancer too.
Private dancer. What was the next line? Dancer for money.
I saw a
Tina Turner.
I saw.
No, yeah, I know the
I saw
song.
a Tina Turner video the other day. I don't remember which song it was. And she was just wild as fuck back then.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
It was just crazy to think about that. What you were saying. So
And Ike said she was too wild sometimes.
I do you the high five.
high five meant something different. And when we were at Busch Gardens, there was I think it was in Italy. There's a kind of narrow alleyway there, and there's this guy painting
Exactly where it was.
painting flower like these. I don't know how they're made. They're like ceramic looking.
It was in that shop. It was that very shop.
Okay.
Yes.
So and those were priced a little aggressively for my taste.
Yeah.
Hey,
I mean, if you think about it, like I was looking at those two, they're like $150 or whatever. But if you think if that guy's putting 7 hours in it, painting those flowers,
Yeah.
I mean, you guys, for something at that skill level, it's not unreasonable. I guess is whatever somebody's worth, But you got to watch out because some of that shit looks. There's a difference in some of the qualities of that stuff.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, there's people that do what I do, but they're in the art world, and they're charging $2,000
Oh, yeah.
for something
Oh, yeah.
that was smaller than
I mean, that one guy
that.
that did the I saw one for the big turtles of 1/4 size.
yeah,
that
yeah.
shit was fucking stupid expensive.
Yeah, it was great looking.
It was great looking, but I mean, I don't think it's anything that you couldn't do.
City lit up and everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, okay. Yeah, I mean, the sky's kind of the limit with this thing I've
Yeah.
got. I've just got to,
It's difficult.
figure out what to do. So,
We'll talk about it.
and read a little Batman from the book that Raul gave me, the Tim Sale Batman. That's about it though for me this week.
Cool. I got that Superman for All Seasons from Raul as well, so you should read that one after you're done the Batman one. It's good.
Okay.
It's good.
I'll get through the rest of these DC books that are living around my house.
You want to go next? Or
We have a Marvel DC discussion. I don't care.
All right. Well, let me go. Let me get this. I got a lot.
Okay.
I got a lot going on. So it was great, man. Went to Busch Gardens, Christmas Town. Went to Colonial Williamsburg. I had the most interesting. I want to have this conversation. It might not be the time, but there was a reenactment there with George Washington. But he said some profound shit about the attitude of the Union. Like I mean, and the guy was fucking. These people who do that, they're fucking passionate about the history. But he was talking about the problems that the Union, that the country ran into when they first started, specifically about slavery and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a paradigm shift with, like, I think a lot of people paint the concept of like, how these motherfuckers don't know this shit was wrong. And there was definitely some interesting conversations going on in that time frame about slavery and all that aspect, and buying and selling in slaves, and like Thomas Jefferson couldn't, like, his slaves were all inherited from his wife, and he couldn't sell them because he was in debt. So he couldn't let them go because they were considered property. So his debtors, like, that's some interesting. You don't think about that stuff. Like, you can't sell your house for $1.
Did he get
because a
any?
bank.
Did he get any money off for having sex with them?
So here's the thing about that. So here's
I know you get worked up. About
no,
it.
it's not. I mean, it's just it's a misconception. So
I heard he came into some money.
with his dick. So the sister, it was the love child from his wife's father, and one of his slaves. So this woman who traveled around, she traveled. It wasn't like she was like a servant or anything. Like, she traveled around with him, like. And when she was in Europe, she wasn't like treated like as we would think of a slave. She was like kind of still high society type person. And I think, I don't even know if the affair was even legit. I think it might have been his brother. Yeah, Sally, whatever his name is. Yeah, yeah. It's interesting, but like so George Washington is, I know it's kind of way off topic, but like when he was away during the war, he didn't want any of his slaves to be sold, and he wouldn't buy any more slaves. And they sold, like, his brother-in-law or his brother sold some to pay for like defense, because what the English were doing, they were going to different people's property and trying to, like, hey, you're out fighting us, we're gonna go burn your house down or some shit. So his brother like sold some. He was really upset about it, but then he gave like his slaves a choice, like, do you want to be sold to somebody else or do you not? There's a big issue about breaking up families, like the legal aspect, and there's other issue about once people are freed, what are they going to do? What's their quality of life going to be for them? And there's an argument that we need to make the changes slowly, but we can't do it in an unhumane way. So there's a humanity aspect of freeing people, which seems freaking wild. But he was talking about how Pennsylvania freed their slaves, and it was a fucking debacle. Like, it wasn't. It's like, the best analogy I could say is like when the forces went to when the American forces went to Auschwitz and found all the people in the concentration camps. Like, if they fed them and let them go, they would die. So at one point they had to now you guys got to get back in the cages until we get you guys medical attention. Like, didn't hear about that?
I'm just fucking.
Don't do that, man. But anyway, so it's just like it's an interesting concept. Like, I'm not trying to justify anything or whatnot, but it's just an interesting thing how you didn't think about it. You thought these people were kind of ignorant and being superior, being like there's like some kind of superior complex, like, oh, we're proper human beings, they're less than human, and that was not quite the truth of the historical accuracy of it. And they were making decisions.
There was some of that too, though. Right?
Oh, of course,
Yeah.
of course. But that was like it's much more complex. Like we oversimplify things in the past. But that was really interesting in talking to some of the folks there because we actually got the passes to be able to go into all the little spots and whatnot. It was worth it, man. It was a good time.
That's awesome.
So my vacation was great, man. We didn't worry about anything. We were in a rush to do anything. We just went there, and most mornings we just sat around. The kids watched some movies, and the lady there had a plethora of old VHS. The funniest shit, man, is my kids didn't know how to operate it. Like they put it backwards and upside down. Like does this go in like this? I'm like, are you serious? You don't know how to? No, and like the whole concept of rewinding fucked them up. Like waiting for the fucking VHS to rewind. They're like, what is? How long does this take? It's been like 5 minutes already. Like no concept of it.
That is hilarious.
It's so crazy, man.
So did you guys stay in the same?
We stayed in the same house we were at last time.
No, it was
we loved it. It was great, man. You know what? It was like it's 2 bedrooms, 1 full bath, 1 half bath downstairs. It's got like a kitchen. I mean, it's not a tiny house. It's just like a tiny upstairs. It's just minimal. You have your family room. You have your dining room. There's a living room as well. Small kitchen, small backyard. But it's like nice and cozy. I mean, there's a value there. Anyway, watch a few films. and it's dude, I'm getting to this point of never going back, man.
Yeah.
All right, so watch Men in Black, which I enjoyed.
Never
back
seen
in the
it.
day. Don't go back. Don't watch
Yeah,
it.
and for whatever reason, it just never happened. I just saw The Abyss like 2 years ago. Like there's just
That's a great
certain
movie.
movies that like never hit my path.
I'm starting to perceive something with 90s movies. I think in the 90s, there was this big uptick in like an anti-authoritarian like feel for things. Like no matter like Will Smith's character in Men in Black, like he played off of Tommy Lee Jones as being kind of an old crusty dude. Like he was the authority. And there's just like something that's so it was so over the top with his performance. And I don't think his performance at the time was over the top, but if you watch it now, it is like ridiculously over the top. He's like a character of himself. He's still the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, you know? So don't go back. Watch The Flight of the Navigator. Do you remember that shit?
Oh, of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fucking horrible. It was, and I really liked that movie when I was a kid.
I loved it.
It was bad, man. It's really bad. And like Sarah Jessica Parker's in it. I didn't realize that. I know, but she's like beautiful back in the day when she was like 17 years old.
Faces.
That's what Broderick will do to you.
Old Matthew Big Dick Broderick.
Looking like a Chinese lantern, man.
Bro,
Some people call him horse dick.
Ferris, goddamn. Ferris Mueller. You know what I mean?
There's no antagonist in the film. It's just fucking stupid. The little creatures or whatever is fucking bizarre, man. And I even remember the ship kind of looking cool. The ship looks stupid. It's just.
I do remember thinking the ship looked stupid when I was a kid.
I remember it looked goofy until it got fast and it stretched out a little bit, and then it looked kind of tight. It looks dumb.
Don't ever talk to me like that again.
Bad done.
Which I get mixed up with a lot of those kind of.
It's not The Last Starfighter, Flight of the Navigator. The kid,
and it's not Mac and Me.
Dude, Mac and Me is fucking trash.
Mac and Me is fucking awesome.
Which one's the one where the
It
kids
fucking bootleg ass ET.
Yeah, but that's what makes it awesome.
The kids playing the video games.
That's
Last Starfighter.
Okay.
Yeah, that one was on the list. I didn't get the chance to watch that.
I got a feeling that does not hold.
I'm sure it's horrible, but I'm sure it's better than fucking The Last Navigator, The Flight of the Navigator. So then we watched this movie Zoom with Tim Allen's in it.
Oh God, I know that.
It's like a superhero movie. Dude, he has the fucking Black Panther costume. Like this is like 12 years ago. It is literally the Black Panther costume from the movie. Like whoever designed the Black Panther costume stole that shit from Zoom.
Really?
Yeah, and then in this as well, like his mask goes away like Iron Man's mask.
Really?
Marvel's biting off of Zoom. Because the only reason I watched is you look on it, he's got the pull that shit up, man. Pull up Zoom, Tim Allen, and there's a picture of him in the like his speed suit. Honey, have you seen my speed suit?
You talking about movies reminds me of actually yesterday I watched The Masters of the Universe.
Oh, does it
Motion
hold up?
picture. No.
Oh, God, I can't imagine.
There's some really good acting in it, but the effects are.
And then like, we were on a Tim Allen kick. Let me see. No, that's not it. That's the movie. But what's her face is in it too. I can't remember her name. The chick. She's in everything now. She was in Fantastic Four.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, dude, look at it. Dude, that doesn't look just like the fucking Black Panther suit.
There's
crazy.
definitely some similarities.
It's crazy.
I thought Zoom was a bad version of Flash.
He is in this part. Whatever. He's garbage.
That's Professor Zoom.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then we watched Galaxy Quest with Tim Allen.
Uh-huh.
Fucking holds up. Great. It's a great movie.
I love that movie.
It's a great movie. It really is.
That is very.
It is good. And then we watched Mrs. Doubtfire. Holds up perfect. Fucking kind of creepy though, but it's great.
Help is on the way. That's my favorite part.
Yeah. Back to the Future 2, of course. And then the last movie I saw was Aquaman, which we'll get into a little bit later, which was amazing.
Fucking phenomenal.
I can't. We'll get more into it. I can't believe it was as good as. Like I don't believe it.
Dude.
Like
Me neither. Me neither.
I wanted to go back and watch it immediately.
Me too.
Because I gotta wait till tomorrow night.
Yeah, for it to come back out.
Yeah, because we saw the early viewing. So show wise, The Good Place, dude. That show. Have you watched any of that?
I don't even know what that is.
So
Hang on, is that the one where they're in purgatory or whatever?
yeah, no.
I think I've heard you talk about
Yes,
it.
it's worth watching. It's got Veronica Mars.
It's about
whatever
the
that chick
Holocaust,
is.
isn't it? That's a hiding place. It's a book.
Don't do that.
Let me be frank.
Dude, I know.
Jesus
Ricky
Christ.
Gervais, man. It's a shame none of those Nazi soldiers heard it with all that typing.
It's horrible.
Not a shame. I don't think he said that. A wonder. Let me take that. Let me walk that dog all the way home. That's not what I meant to say.
On the inside.
Ricky Gervais said it.
Voltron, the last season. I've been watching. I got 2 or 3 episodes in. It's fucking good so far. Yeah, we gotta hand it to Netflix for shit like this, man. Because I feel at the end of this thing, I think I'm gonna be good with my Voltron. I've had like a whole good arc, several good arcs of Voltron. I feel like I've gone back to that universe. I've discovered more stuff, and as long as they don't shit the fucking ending up, I think we'll be good. Then I read some books. Black Hammer. Dude, shout out to Raul. He sent me a fucking care package. I didn't know you loved me so much, man. One of the books is I think it's a Dark Horse. It's called Black Hammer. Very interesting concept. So there's not much to ruin at this point because it's the first part of many. And now I'm like fully engrossed in finding the second part of this. But there's an aftermath of some battle. You don't really know what happened. It's kind of spoon-fed to you. But these superheroes wake up on this farm. And it's called Black Hammer Farm. I think they named it that after some other events. And a
gangbang.
And all the characters are loosely based off of other characters.
Right.
So like there's an old dude who's basically Captain America. There's a chick that's basically Shazam. There's another chick that's kind of a magical archetype. There's a guy that's kind of a space. He's like Adam Strange type of thing. There's like a robot dude, and there's like a Martian Manhunter, and he's literally from Mars. And each of the characters are fucking fascinating. But there's a couple little tweaks. Like the Shazam chick, she's older, and when she Shazams, she turns into a little kid, right? But she's stuck in that little kid form. So they've been there for 10 years after the said event, and you don't know why they can't leave this area. It's like they can stay on their farm and they can go into town, and it's like an old town, like a western type of town,
Main Street, USA.
It's like Mayberry, right? Fucking awesome, man. The character development and like what's going on, and it's really fucking good, man. I really like it. The art can be a little inconsistent because it goes through the different books, and there's some annuals that they added in there to have the story go through, but it's good. And there's this one dude, like time doesn't affect, like the Adam Strange type of guy, time doesn't really affect him the same way, so he's stuck there too, but he's also like looking in the past as well. Really good stuff. Finished Green Lantern Earth 1.
How was that?
Fucking great.
Yeah.
Dude, the Earth one is my DC comic book universe that I want to read. I'm not really interested in anything else because I'm picking it up fresh. They took it out of a whole new door.
Yeah, I want to check it out.
But they stuck with the key elements of it, and it's just fucking wonderful, man. I'll bring it, let you hold it. Did a lot of painting while I was gone. I just did the old fashioned, put them in the paints in the case, and brought a couple stuff hanging out. working on my arcade cabinet. I went ahead and got drunk and couldn't keep my fucking mouth shut. I had to show you. So that's coming up. We got the main frame built. We got a couple, a little sanding and whatever, and then puttying some of the stuff, and then painting the cabinet. And we got all the games already squared away. So that'll be done hopefully soon. Newport News is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So I just wanted to do a couple shout outs to my Christmas town. So one thing about going to Busch Gardens is it's fucking expensive. Like it to feed the family is like $70. A drink is like $10 or whatever. So I went to this one spot. It was in Italy, and I got some hot cider. And there was a nice lady named Judy.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Judy. Let me get to it. So I'm, hey, Judy, you got anything? You need to spice up that drink? She's like, I might have some rum in the back. I'm like, okay, sure. Judy walked in the back. She said, yeah, we had this left over from the Halloween, Hollow Scream or whatever. I was like, all right. How much you want in there, darling? And I'm like, Judy, don't judge me. Keep it coming. And she just, boop, 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 4 or 5 fingers, put the little bit of hot cider in there, charged me $3.69 for the hot cider. Judy and I became really good friends.
Sure.
I was back at that bitch frequently. So, Judy, thank you for making it not,
Way to go, Judy.
Way to go, Judy.
You're the real MVP.
And then,
Judy.
She is. Don't judge Judy, man.
It's
Don't
from
do that.
Curb Your Enthusiasm, when he cut the hair off Judy.
So, there's this other funny thing. It was my youngest daughter hates animals. And to a point where I thought, like, maybe she was a fucking psychopath until my dog died and she did get upset, But, like, she had this incident that happened to her. We were in Gettysburg and we were pulled up beside one of the horse-drawn carriages. And horses, they're big animals, And we were, like, right at the horse's, like, shoulder. And the horse turned its head, like 180 degrees. And my daughter was, like, in a stroller and, like, looking to the right. And the horse is to her left. And all of a sudden she looks over and the horse's face was basically in her face, right? And she just started shaking and you could just, like, her like, she just couldn't, it was like that fight or freeze, like this freeze. And she was just frozen with fear. The horse scared the shit out of her. She's like maybe 2. And all of a sudden, just started screaming, right? And it was just so funny because the horse just, she was standing next to it. She looked over here, and all of a sudden there's this big-ass horse face in your face, right? And ever since then, she hates going to farms. Like the smell, I guess, like because she could smell the horse next to her. Like farms she doesn't want to go to whenever we go anywhere. She doesn't want to go to any fucking farms. She doesn't want to go to zoo. She fucking hates animals. It just traumatized her. And if I had this on video, I'd be a YouTube millionaire because it was the funniest shit just to see her, like, not be able to scream and whatnot, and everybody's kind of laughing. She was crying. It's horrible. So we're walking down in Clinton Williamsburg, and these fucking squirrels are fighting. Like this one squirrel's keeping this other squirrel off a tree, right? And you're like, look at these fattest ass squirrels you ever seen, man. Because people are always feeding them fucking candy and whatnot. Huge fat squirrels. So we're walking by, and there's like, look at the squirrels, and the squirrels like climb up the tree fighting, and the one squirrel like knocks the other squirrel off the tree and lands on my daughter again, like this, like, and she's like, it's like big squirrel, and it's like it kind of like runs off her leg and jumps off of her leg and runs in the bushes or whatever. But it's like another one of those things, like she has these like, and like, dude, if I had a fucking camera on her, I just need to have a camera on this kid all the time.
Would you say she has animal magnetism?
Maybe. So there's that. Flat Navigator sucks. And I think that's it until we get into a little bit of Aquaman talk.
Yeah, so I also saw Aquaman, and it was fucking awesome. I saw Ready Player One. What a bad movie.
Really?
Like-
I mean, I didn't answer your question when you mentioned it. No, I didn't see it in the theater. I saw it when it came out on video.
Dude,
I thought it was fine.
like, we were watching it, and about a half hour in, both of us realized that we didn't give a fuck about any of it. And you spend too much time in this faux world where there are digital avatars of themselves. Like, it's like watching the old Final Fantasy movie, right?
Yeah.
It's not real. Like, it's in my head, I was like, they're going to be real in this, it's just going to be like how they see themselves in this world. It's in the future. The technology's gotten so good, but it's not. It's like Final Fantasy in this fake world.
It doesn't look that good.
It looks fine, but it looks like Final Fantasy.
It looks synthetic.
Yeah, for sure. And it's supposed to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's supposed to. They're not. Yeah.
But you don't I never ended up giving a fuck about them in the real world to make what they were doing in the fake world of any interest or consequence.
Now,
to
is this
me.
part one of a series?
I hope not.
Well, it's based on a book, and the book's much. I didn't. I know Ace Milo, for example, was a big fan of the book, and
Yeah,
he kind of picked it apart a bit. That it and look, it's
and it's a Spielberg book adaptation, so it's like,
and I'm poking fun, because people are
So,
the book.
yeah,
So did it play off the 80s nostalgia bullshit?
yeah, it certainly does.
Well, it's all nostalgia, really.
But that's not enough for me. Like, and it doesn't mean that there
We
weren't
established this.
there wasn't enough. There wasn't that there weren't cool sequences that I enjoyed watching, but at the end of the day, it just wasn't a good movie. I looked it up on Rotten Tomatoes, and it had like a 73%, and I was like, that's fair-ish, I guess. But yeah, that was really, really
7
a waste
out of 10?
Really, really a waste of my time. I would have given it a 5.
7 out of 15.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, watching that. Every time a character passed by, I just saw the dollar signs. I'm like, how much money did they spend in license? All of these characters.
Well, a lot of it was.
I mean, there's
a lot of
40K characters in it.
Yes, but a lot of it was Warner Brothers stuff. So like I'm imagining that hand washes the other. So, because like I didn't notice any Marvel nods, but there's definitely DC nods.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like who?
Harley's in it briefly.
Oh, the
like,
Joker.
Yeah, Deathstroke.
Okay.
He's in it. But like background stuff. Let's see what else. There was I saw a movie called The Post, which is about exposing the newspaper wars that were trying to get information to expose the truth behind the Vietnam War.
Oh, yeah. Was it good?
It was fine. Tom Hanks is in it, and he's good, and Meryl Streep is in it, she's good, but it was just like,
You don't care.
no, I mean I do care. It's just it wasn't suspenseful. It was just kind of like I felt like I was really watching the events. You know what I mean? But like,
God, history's boring.
yeah, there just wasn't enough like real drama to it to kind of really keep my attention. I watched like 3 more episodes of Deadpool. I mean, Daredevil.
Oh, how's it going?
Eh,
Really?
yeah,
Nothing?
Nothing for me.
Did
Nothing.
he get his powers back yet?
No, I don't think so. There's a lot of stuff with Fisk and Fisk's missing girl and all that kind of stuff, and I mean, it's fine.
Did
I
you
mean,
finish
I don't.
Deadpool?
Daredevil.
I mean, Daredevil. Jesus.
Yeah, you finished it quick.
Darkhawk? What?
Darkhawk, yes, dude. Where's the Darkhawk series?
Yeah, I powered right through that. I watched it.
Did you
as
enjoy
I
it?
could. I enjoyed the hell out of it. I thought
I think
it
it
was
was
great.
best Daredevil season yet.
No, season 2 is the best.
And I think also that I just don't like him as Daredevil.
Really?
Yeah, I think I like legitimately do not.
So who would be your Daredevil?
That I don't know. I'm not good at that game.
So would it
Ben
be,
Affleck.
Would it be Ron Weasley from the Harry Potter movie?
No.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, make sure you guys eat at the table, okay?
Let's see what else. I know there was other shit. My baby was watching something. Selena, we were watching this movie, and she said the funniest fucking shit in the world to me at the time. Anyway, we were watching Elf,
Yeah.
and
Great movie.
Great
Christmas present.
I'm trying to think who
White
she's-
elephant present.
Oh, it was about a little person is in it, and
You're an angry elf.
And when the little person came out, Selena was like, "He got a big old head." Shit killed me.
This was his favorite from Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Peter Dinklage.
Yeah, something like that. And I think there was something else, man. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank. There's so much I feel like that has going on because we haven't recorded in a while. I got that Hoth diorama done.
Oh, you got your Optimus
I
Prime.
got the Hot Toys Optimus Prime. It's just trash.
It's not that bad.
No, it's pretty bad.
Why is it?
If you think about what it cost, if you think about like if you bought it for $350,
But you didn't. You bought it for $125.
No, I didn't. But
Yeah.
even at $125, I'm like, ugh, I could have spent $125 on something
You
better.
think because it doesn't transform?
No.
I
'Cause,
think
like,
the weight.
I
I think
looked
the
at-
weight thing has a lot to do. I
Yeah,
think that
yeah,
if
for
it was
sure.
heavier.
And like the joints, like the hips, like there's no hardware in them, and it's just weird, man. Like,
Oh,
it's
really?
like you got a double ball peg. It's like a fucking big Marvel Legend, that's better painted. Like,
It's almost out of their pocket though.
yeah, but I mean, that kills it. The Iron Man kills it.
Absolutely.
It-
It's their bread and butter now.
yeah, but so
That's
was
an old one too, right?
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Let's see what else. I got a bunch of shit toys wise. I got the Bucky, the SHF Bucky.
Oh, how's that?
It's fine. I got the Fans Toys Hydra, and that fucking those people, dude. Fans Toys almost like it's the one company
That's Six Shot for anybody.
Yeah. It's the one company that I had to kind of continue reviewing because it's like a popular, people want to know, you know. But it's like it doesn't matter what I do. Like it's the ones I get the most grief about. Like if I say it's great, I get grief. If I like Rogue, where I'm like, or Rouge, where I'm like, this is so bad as a transformer, I'm refusing to transform it. I get grief about it. RC. Oh. So like, I just can't fucking win. So like,
now is it better than that last Six Shot that came out?
they're all great. They're all great. All three of them, all three Masterpiece Six Shots are great. They're great for different reasons, and it really depends.
Are you keeping them all?
I only got the Fans Toys one.
So you got rid of the other one already?
I never had it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I borrowed it.
Oh.
So like the Masterpiece ones, like G Creations did one, DX9 did one.
Which one did you have?
I have the MMC Chug one. But
are you keeping that one?
Yeah, for IDW. It's like a different pocket. But like, yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's fucking frustrating. I'm going to do a award show.
Okay.
For next Saturday. I'm going to do a third party awards.
Did I win anything?
If you haven't produced it, you got to produce it first.
Painted a lot of stuff this year.
I'm going to do third party awards, like suit and tie, like you know, read the envelope, like the whole bit, like so I'm looking forward to doing that. And
you have a suit?
Yeah, I got a few suits. I go to funerals. I've been to court. Let's see. I know I read more of that Secret Empire Captain America book. It's good, man.
Is it?
It's good. And I read.
We found out who this guy. It's a new one. We don't know yet.
Yeah,
right?
I'm working on this commission drawing of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I don't want to talk about what they're doing, but it's fucking cool.
Are they eating pizza?
I put a slice in there. Got to put a slice in there.
Did they come into some money?
One of them might.
Nice.
With my dick.
What's the line, Bobby?
So
on a commission, what's the line if somebody asks you to do something?
Usually I you do
porn.
Like if somebody asks you, can you have April O'Neil bend over and
getting fucked by a turtle?
Yeah.
No, I'm not doing that. Now, if you want to see my rule is like it has to be true to the material. So like if you want me to draw Casey Jones railing April, like hit me up. You know? Yeah, because like that's feasible to me. But like she's not smashing a turtle. Like she's not into the interspecies erotica like Jay and Silent Bob are. You know, so
How
like
do you know?
Just from the content.
You don't know her.
even the movie version where she's at the farmhouse and
Even the movie version, she's more into Casey Jones. They have a moment.
They do have a moment. That's a fact.
So like that's kind of where I draw the line. Splinter. And I want to say there's something else, man. I don't know why I can't. I saw Aquaman, I guess, was it. All right, so we can just move on. We do have some notes, and we do have a question that I think is going to draw some discussion. So let me get into this. They're brief. First of all, Netflix has published some numbers, which is unlike them.
Yeah. What they say?
Nothing really crazy.
Nothing.
They just talked about how in the movie category, romantic comedies reign supreme. The Kissing Booth, To All the Boys I've Loved Before were both rewatched by almost half of all Netflix users.
never even heard of those.
Yeah.
Additionally, Roxanne was also on the list. The TV shows that earned the title of most binged ranged the gambit in genre.
Let me guess.
Coming
into it.
Coming of age series
Is it Friends?
Stranger Things.
on my block. The second season of true crime series Making a Murderer season 2.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Stranger Things was on there?
13 Reasons Why.
Oh God.
Last Chance U. British drama Bodyguard. And
Actually, I want to see that. I heard that was good.
Fastest Car and The Haunting of Hill House.
I heard that was good.
I heard that was good too.
Also, Orange of the New Black did well. And Anne with an E.
That's Anne of Green Gables. She just wants puffed sleeves.
So
Nobody. No.
it's interesting just that they would publish some numbers. But yeah, none of the Marvel stuff was name dropped in it.
Really?
And not Stranger Things either.
Huh.
I have a Netflix note real quick. You had mentioned somewhere that you had watched American Meme,
Yes.
which I actually did watch that as well. But you had mentioned that there was a Jam Master Jay documentary.
Yes.
Well, apparently they have us on the same algorithm plan because I had never seen that either until at the end of that movie.
Isn't that
it
crazy?
prompted to watch. That's wild.
That documentary was good. I need to finish watching it. I fell asleep
I
towards the end.
I didn't start that one, but
It's good. Like it's interesting. It's interesting like where his fingers and toes ended up in terms of pies. Like everybody that kind of
Head,
I thought
shoulders,
you meant like
knees and toes.
Knees and toes.
Everybody that kind of interviewed, like they were like friends or family that grew up with him, were just like, this guy was like the local hero, like not a dangerous guy, not a such and such, but like, you know, where his life paths kind of ended up taking him through routes of travel, ended up putting him like just, I mean, I think that there was like 4 or 5 different theories of who could have possibly wanted to kill him to benefit in some way, shape, or form. So it was pretty fascinating. I do recommend that. There was also the I Dream of Genie. We got a look at the
I'm not happy.
at the
All right, so let me preface this.
Aladdin
Yeah.
cast.
If in the Aladdin cartoon, there's a certain times that the genie took human form. If that is what we're seeing of Will Smith right now as the human form, he's like, you know, Aladdin's vizier or whatever, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with that. But if he's not animated and bigger than life in blue, I'm going to have some issues.
Well, his performance is going to be bigger than life because it's
Oh,
Will
of
Smith.
course.
gotta get me one.
And it's going to be animated. And it's
to
going
the
to be
flying
animated.
carpet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not feeling it, man.
I don't know how I feel in general about this whole let's make live action out of these classic.
I'm not
animated
that
movies.
thrilled with them either.
Well, I loved Jungle Book. What was
There's a Netflix Mowgli movie
I saw that. That's
show.
funny.
I want to see that.
But I love Jungle Book. I wasn't crazy about Beauty and the Beast.
I have not seen any of them.
Yeah, Jungle Book I really enjoyed. Beauty and the Beast I had a hard time getting through.
I haven't been super impressed by any of them.
And then is there another one? Did they do Cinderella?
Yeah, they did Cinderella, and they're
I
doing.
didn't see that one.
Wait, they
I
did
didn't see
Cinderella?
that. Yeah, that's the first one they did.
Okay, yeah, I didn't see that.
I didn't see it either. And then of course they're doing Lion King,
Yeah,
which really isn't a live action.
yeah, but
it's
that
all
one,
animated.
I'm curious about as well.
That one makes the most sense to me.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
And that's why that's the
Because-
same way I feel about Jungle Book.
Yeah.
Like it's just one that makes sense.
Yeah, but see, the
'cause-
Jungle Book has been done so many times.
for sure, because they don't have
So
it
many
because
times.
it's not a Disney property.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So what about the fact that, how do I say this, that Aladdin is set where it's set without? I'm just wondering when the social justice warriors are going to come.
So
out
it's a Persian cast.
okay,
Um,
except for Will Smith.
I don't know if that's the right term. I don't. It's a Middle Eastern cast.
fine.
People of
They might
Middle
be
Eastern
Persian.
descent are playing Aladdin, are playing Jasmine,
Okay.
and are playing Jafar. I believe.
No, Jafar is by a white guy.
He doesn't look.
He's the bad guy.
He doesn't look white.
Fuck with you.
Oh. I mean, once again, I'm not the ambassador for white people. We come in all shapes and sizes, so I'm not sure. But yeah, it seems to be. So I think that everybody's on board. You know, the one thing that I see, I don't have a strong connection to Aladdin because Aladdin came out in the era where just growing up, I was kind of like, this is corny.
Yeah, no, I remember I think it came out when I was in 9th grade, maybe.
Yeah.
And there was this other. I remember this kid very distinctly. I was friends with him. He was obsessed with that movie.
When you were in 9th grade?
Yeah,
How much older are you than us?
I'm 42.
Oh, okay. You know that?
How old did you think I was?
I thought you were in your 30s.
Oh, I don't know.
Sorry. Because, I mean, Aladdin came out when we were in middle school.
Yeah. I think that was like,
Me being in the 9th grade, that would make perfect
Yeah,
sense.
yeah.
yeah,
What do you
Wu-Tang
guys
was
like,
out in middle school also.
38 or 39?
Yeah, 30.
37?
I'll be 38 next week.
Yeah, so, Wu-Tang came out when I was in the 9th
I
grade as
mean,
well.
Yeah.
we were 12 when it came out.
Yeah, I mean that's about when Wu-Tang came out too.
Really?
Yeah, 93.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
oh,
so.
hang on, no, 93, I was a junior in high school in 93. No, yeah, Wu-Tang was a couple years after that.
So Wu-Tang came out in 93, and
I graduated high school in 94, so.
at any rate, it's just, like I was just into that. I was into that kind of stuff. I was watching, quote unquote, more mature movies, listening to more mature music. I was starting to chase girls heavy. Like I think that I just wasn't in the right space to appreciate a Disney movie. I've since watched it.
Well, I've since watched them all because of my children.
Correct. And I've been like, man, this is a really good movie. Hey, man, can you do me the present of being present in my presence.
I'm
I learned this at respectful workplace training.
Wow.
You were 11 when fucking Aladdin came out. Get out of here.
I was?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said it was in 93.
92.
Oh, okay, yeah, I was 11. But I mean, I still was starting to get into that type of shit. You know what I mean? Like, I just...
You were still listening to New Kids on the Block when Aladdin came out. Continue.
But I'm just saying, like, I just gotten out of all that shit. Like, I never saw Toy Story until I was grown either. Like,
Yeah, but Toy Story, we were in high school when that came out.
no. Let me look it up. Because I remember they did Toy Story, like, one day at school. And...
I remember watching...
Oh, 96, so I was in high school.
Yeah.
Maybe. 90...
Yeah, you were a sophomore.
Yeah. So all that shit, though, like, I just feel like all that stuff that came out in that pocket, the only thing that I saw was Lion King. And I saw it because these girls that I was with wanted to go see it.
We saw Pocahontas together.
Girls.
Yeah.
Same shit.
Well, we went with, it wasn't just the girls. It was like it was
No.
a huge amount of people we went with.
No. It was 4. 4 people.
No, it was more than that.
No.
It was more than that. 'Cause remember the tickets were sold out?
Yeah, it was Elizabeth, her friend Jess, you, and me.
No, there's some other people.
No.
There was because we did that
Hold on.
Shim Sham.
Yo.
We did that Shim Sham with the tickets.
Right.
Leia's a stick.
All right. Let me go fix that. Save it for me.
All right.
But yeah, I just wasn't into that shit at that time.
What were we talking about again?
Like the Disney shit or that time.
Oh.
Because like I think I just saw Aladdin all the way through in one sitting within the last 5 years.
Get out of here.
Yeah, like I saw bits and pieces. Like I saw he sings a song, like the genie sings a song about.
Never have a friend like me.
Yeah. You know, like there's like
40 thieves.
there's like elements of it that like you just can't escape in being American culture. Like, you know, like living in this country and like,
Yeah.
you know, but I don't think I ever, like I saw bits and pieces, but I don't think I ever saw
You
the
know,
whole
I think
thing.
it's because you hated Robin Williams still recently.
No, I didn't watch any of that animated shit. Toy Story as well. I just saw within the last 5 years. But like, here's a question that I pose that's like of greater importance. If they were to do a Robin Hood movie, does it need to be a Fox?
Of course.
I agree. Because like, if they did it with real people, but just played that story out, I'd be like, this is fucking trash.
Huh.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's too many Robin Hood, and they haven't done well very recently.
Yeah, didn't one just come out?
Yeah,
Yeah.
fucking flopped.
Yeah, it flopped.
And before they did one with what's his face, Jarrell.
Yeah, Kurt Russell. I mean, no. I was thinking about people that
Wow.
I was thinking about people that fight around the world. Fucking what's it? Gladiator.
Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe.
That one kind of flopped as well.
But that you know, the
You got-
Kevin Costner one, of course.
Yeah, you got nothing on the Kevin Costner one.
I actually watched part of that not a couple weeks
the
ago.
Kevin Costner one.
Yeah.
Was it age appropriate for kids?
He does show his butt.
That's fine. Big old wet butt.
That scene in the beginning where they go to cut that dude's hand up, that just stressed me out as a kid. I remember.
Oh,
thinking,
yeah.
You know, like, but yeah, like if they Disney did the Robin Hood, like I would be all in for that. But like I
And
need
the
it.
snake.
Yeah, but I need it to be the animal characters.
Yeah.
Like 100,000%.
Prince of Thieves will not get made today.
No.
No.
'Cause they are just, I mean, the opening sequence with Morgan Freeman and how racist they are to him.
Yeah,
they never
yeah.
let that play.
I haven't seen it like soon enough. But
I forgot Morgan Freeman was in it.
Jasmine looks great.
Yeah, she needs a little bit more midriff showing. I need to
Yeah,
see
you
that
see
belly
they covered
button.
that out.
I wanna see that
they,
belly
they
button.
covered it up and they put like a beige fabric.
Yep.
You know,
I need that belly button.
interesting.
Don't like it at all.
The more details spawn.
You're fucking stupid.
Todd McFarlane did like a Q&A on Reddit, and he answered some of the questions. And what's interesting is some of the answers he gave. Twitch is going to be in it. You're going to be following Twitch.
Nice.
Sam, not so much.
Really?
Not going to be in it at all, and neither is the Violator, which I kind of foresaw. He said, despite it being a reboot, it will not be an origin story.
Okay.
And it's written and directed by Todd McFarlane. I got a feeling this shit might not happen.
It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen.
It's starting to sound less and less probable to me.
Yeah.
I'm up for a Spawn movie. I'm good with it, but
Yeah.
I just don't see it. Hope for the Fantastic. For the Fantastic. They are getting rebooted like a soft
In the comic.
in the comics.
Yeah.
But my general philosophy is like there seems to be this this trend that you can follow when they start to align shit a certain way in the comics. It's almost like they're preparing for the movies.
Yeah.
So I find interesting.
I think it'd be interesting because when we left the Fantastic Four, they're basically gods creating the multiverses, like recreating the multiverses that were destroyed. So it would be cool if they got to a point they're like, let's go back and be human again.
Yeah.
And they forgot like where they've been.
And it's going to talk about like where the powers come from.
Okay.
Like it's not just some
Cosmic rays.
Nameless cosmic rays. Like there's something to it, which is like, a retcon, but I'm up for that kind of shit.
Yeah.
And I'll be looking at that closely for clues of how that could potentially tie into the MCU,
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's kind of one of those potentially exciting things, I suppose.
The Hellboy trailer just dropped. Did you see it?
No.
All right. You might want to watch it.
All right. Defending the future. So there's a lot that's come out about this Netflix stuff. Reports of Disney pulling it from Netflix because they want all characters back home.
Yeah.
Also that there's a contract with Netflix where the characters cannot be used in any sort of similar format or some shit for 2 years.
Yeah.
For one, the Disney thing doesn't surprise me.
So hang on. So Disney can't use their own characters 2 years after?
Correct.
I gotcha. Okay.
It doesn't surprise me if Disney was moving everything to their own streaming service. It seems like the smart thing to do.
Sure. Yeah.
The 2-year thing, I saw a lot of people getting worked up about that. I honestly think it's kind of the smart move. Like, let that
give some
shit
cool down.
die down a little bit.
I agree.
And
I
then
agree.
come back.
Yeah, make some decisions whether or not you want to keep the current people in the role,
yeah.
or if you want to just do something different.
Yeah.
Now they own a chunk of Hulu. Disney does.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm wondering if
ABC as well.
Yeah, they own ABC and ESPN outright. But I'm just wondering if Hulu will play into their streaming at all, or if this is just something completely different.
I don't know. I'm going to guess all the shit that's like a proper Disney property, they're going to have under one flag. And I can't really blame them because of the fucking bullshit they've had to put up with regarding the Marvel characters over the past 10 years.
Yeah, but they did that to themselves.
I think Marvel did that to itself.
Right. Marvel did that.
Yeah.
Shit. They were selling anything they could to stay afloat.
Yeah, but now they got a gangster running the show, so it's
Sure,
like,
exactly.
like, no, I'm not playing that shit anymore. I'm surprised they let them do the Netflix shit in the first place, to be honest. Hindsight being 2020.
That's a different world.
Yeah, for sure.
So I mean, I could see Disney taking their streaming service to the next level because if you ever watch like broadcast television, a lot of those sitcoms and hour dramas are produced by ABC.
Yeah.
But they appear on
Disney Channel.
or CBS even.
Yeah.
So we might this might be the end of broadcast television. I don't know if they.
Well, I mean,
decide to-
it's definitely you look at the news companies, they're thrilled if they have 50,000 viewers a night, while Joe Rogan's getting 10 million downloads an episode.
yeah.
So I mean, the dynamic is going to change here soon.
The while we're on the subject of streaming, the trailer hit for I think it was the finale of Titans with Murderous Batman.
Yeah,
back
you
on
know
the
what?
scene.
My guess is it's Jason Todd the whole time.
That is not Batman.
Yeah,
I think
he
that's
comes
valid.
he comes up in the wheelchair,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a feint that it's Jason Todd or it's Deathstroke.
Have you guys been watching that?
No, but I want to.
So is that on DC streaming
Yes.
service?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to watch that. That has me intrigued. And there's all this talk about like an Infinite Crisis coming to the Arrowverse.
So that's apparently going to be next year's.
It's definitely coming.
Yeah.
next year's big
Yeah.
crossover event.
But I just didn't know whether it was Arrow or Flash, which one it was.
I
But
did.
I think it's
all right, so I did
Arrowverse.
watch that. I forgot all about it.
You watched the one that
I
just came
watched.
on?
Yeah, so it started out on Flash.
So have you been watching that show, or did you just
No,
hop
I
into
haven't been
this?
watching that show. So I've given up completely on Arrow. I want to say, what was that other show?
Flash,
No.
Leagues of
Yeah. Leagues of Extraordinary
Gentlemen.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
No, it was Legends of
Legends
Tomorrow.
of Tomorrow.
Yeah, I think that one's canceled.
That was awful.
Yeah,
that
I
was
got
a
through.
hot mess.
I got through like the half of the first season and I dumped it.
That was like mom saying, "Hey, we're gonna have leftovers tonight, but I'm mixing it all in one pot."
Yeah. So the Elseworld is actually, it was a cool concept because it explain to you why they are Elseworlds. So just basically the Monitor just fucking with shit. Like he's like recreating universes or letting people recreate universes, and you find out that there's this calamity coming, and that's why he's doing to see which universe will be strong that can survive, because it's going to be like the Crisis of Infinite Earth type of thing. And why you turn me down?
I had to turn it down a little bit because you're peeking all over the place.
Am I?
Yeah, and when it goes,
I don't think so. I can't.
I've not been watching you. I've been watching you because like if you back off the mic a little bit, but when it goes to normalize it, it's gonna push you a little bit down and everybody else way down.
It looks like I'm on the same level as you. Like right now.
I've been watching it.
Yeah, but look at the yellow thing.
Scroll back. Pause it and scroll back if I got to prove my point.
No, but I mean, it's like look at this.
Yeah,
right
you're better
here.
now. No, it's not that. It's the wave, buddy.
Post Malone.
It's the wave.
That's fine. I don't care. Anyway, it's interesting that the whole spin they had, like the 90s Flash in it, which is really fucking cool. They he makes a reference of the John Diggle, who's the Arrows guy, that he's actually John Stewart. He's the Green Lantern of another universe, which is cool.
Huh.
So, and seeing Superman and Lois Lane in there was good. The story was garbage. I mean, it wasn't anything. It wasn't anything like, oh, you got to watch it. It was just cool that they were able to do that stuff with the Monitor. And Arrow is just fucking dumb. But it was a really cool thing about Batman. So Batman is definitely the Arrowverse. He's like,
Right. I saw
I don't
something
believe in
about
that.
that.
I don't believe in that myth. And like, you don't believe in Batman, you do what you do. And he's like, I'm the original vigilante. But you find out Batman's been around forever.
Right.
But nobody knows Batman is real. So there's Batwoman, who's there, and Batman left Gotham for some reason. You don't know why. So and Supergirl is in a different universe. So but they do crossovers all the time. They go to like, she's Earth 92 and they're on Earth 1. So I'm down if next year they bring everything into one Earth, like one, Supergirl.
That's
and everything.
that's what I'm getting at. Is that
And then they bring Superman. They want to do a Superman show now because everybody's responding really well to that Superman and the Lois Lane character. And so
this might be the foundation being laid for how they do all of their media.
yeah.
You know, like the live action movies, the streaming stuff, the whole thing.
Yeah.
And this might be their plan to fix it.
And we're also getting word that now Cavill's not gone either.
Yeah, that's what Momoa says. Yeah. I listened to this comedian guy talk about it, and he was like, yeah, so Momoa says that Cavill's definitely still on his movie promotion tour.
Maybe.
And I was like, yeah. And I think that might be it. I think that's it. We do have a Q&A, and we have one question from Patreon that I think we definitely need to tackle, and then I think we have an email as well. But I think it would be good for the current folks that are here. And I accidentally posted this to my personal Facebook and had all sorts of smart-ass responses.
What was it?
Yeah. So it was, I always had a hard time relating to a majority of DC characters due to them being so damn powerful. Spider-Man had real-world problems to deal with, like paying rent, holding down a job, etc. So always seemed like his story was within the realm of possibility. A man seeking justice by taking on crime after a tragic event also seems like it's not that far from reality versus an alien baby with godlike powers. Interested to give DC a closer look, just need recommendations. Part 2 would be, you like your superheroes to have relatable issues and vulnerabilities, Iron Man's alcoholism, for example, X-Men's fight for acceptance, or prefer the more iconic, larger-than-life symbol of an ideal like Superman. And then he went on to say, well, no, that's a different question. He went on to say, what stories, books would the Nerd Rage crew recommend? So let's just do the first one first.
Who was that from?
Calum.
Okay.
Let me ask you one thing though.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's kind of been this trope of DC is unrelatable and Marvel was relatable, and I think that stemmed from the late great, Stan Lee. He's preached that for many years. I wanted a guy. He's worried about getting home and getting his pills to his Aunt May. Real world problems. And like New York City, it's a real place where Gotham's not a real place. I think that Marvel has sold that sizzle, but I don't necessarily know if it's true. I know that we've said it ourselves and we've repeated it and everything, but after reading it, I was like, you know what? Now that I think about it, both universes are just as fantastic as each other.
So they are as fantastic, but I do think that because most of the Marvel characters are human, and like I don't. So in that way, some of the human shit that comes with them, the human drama, makes them more relatable. I see. I'm not really one to argue that point. But my argument is that doesn't make it better.
No, I agree. I'm saying, is it even a legitimate thing?
I think it's
I mean,
legitimate.
because I could say that the mutants aren't human, you know?
Yes.
And that's half of the damn Marvel world. And there's a lot of stuff that happens off of Earth in the Marvel universe as well.
Yes, I think that.
I mean, Diana's still an Earthling. You know what
Yes,
I mean?
but she's not. But it's not the same. She doesn't deal with human. She doesn't really have human issues.
I think she has issues with her mother being overbearing and her family. And
Yeah, but they're not relatable issues. Like, most of us don't have issues with our mothers not being the princess of fantastic's mystical place.
Well, I mean,
you know what I'm saying? Like they have their issues, but they're not the same. But
nobody has the same issues.
No one has the exact same issues. Like, you may not have to get your aunt pills, but you might have to get your mom eggs, or you know what I'm saying? Like, they're while they're not the same, they're the same. Like, where I think that with DC, I think that they are less relatable in terms of just humanity. I think that what makes DC great is that the themes that they address by those elements of those characters are larger, grander, and deeper than what Marvel brings to the table.
No, and I don't disagree with you. And I'm gonna try to argue that point, but I'm saying, like, let's look at Clark Kent, right? In every origin story with Superman, you feel the pain of, like, he wants to go out and expose himself to the world, so to speak, and how his parents want to hold it, like, we got to be careful. You got to be careful. We don't want you to be in a scientist, doing experiments on you or whatever. And, like, you can understand, like, even as a parent, like, it's hard to let your kids go out there and do things. You know what I mean? Like, it's scary letting them go out and the world know about them. So I think that you can identify with stuff like that.
I mean,
I can identify. You can identify with Clark, especially the young Clark. He's got this job and he can't be who he really is, or he's trying to he's trying to get people to understand who he really is. He's got to kind of hide parts of himself or whatnot, or his parent. He's people worried about people, blah, 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 blah. I think there's tons of elements of that. I mean, to be honest with you, I think Batman sometimes is more unrelatable than Clark is.
No, I understand that way of thinking.
My original, I don't want to get too far off this, but my original premise is I don't know if that whole concept is even legitimate. I think that we've been sold that for years.
I got you. I think it is, though.
Maybe.
Yeah, but I also think that if you look hard enough for something, you can find it, and that what is relatable to one may not be relatable to other. I just think that generally speaking, the Marvel does have more relatable characters, but I don't think that that's what makes it inherently better or more interesting. Like, I can say that I think that Marvel has more relatable characters than a lot of Star Wars characters, but I think Star Wars characters are more interesting. It doesn't necessarily. It's like.
But I think it's more of a subjective thing.
Of course, it's subjective.
No, I'm saying, but like, what I'm saying is that is this comment that's made, and I want to go back to saying, like, Stan Lee. Is it even? I don't know if it's a legitimate thing.
No, I'm hearing you. I'm saying,
like, even like Thor. Like, Thor is a very popular character for Marvel, and I mean, I think that he's literally almost the same thing as Superman.
But I don't think that people see him as a relatable character.
Yeah, but I mean,
I think people see Banner as a relatable character. I think that people
really.
Yeah, because I think a lot of people, especially younger people, get angry, full of rage, and feel like they're somebody else.
Yep.
And want, you know what I mean? Like, I don't
think that's why people like the Hulk.
I think it definitely is why.
I don't know. I think it's just cool to see him smash shit.
Yeah, I think it's deeper.
Being
than that.
strong.
I think it's deeper than that.
Maybe, but I don't know. I think it's just relatable with somebody else from DC.
It is cool to see him smash stuff, but I think that there's also this element to his character that people find relatable because he is this frail, weak kind of human, and then he gets angry and he turns into this monster that nothing can stop, theoretically.
So it is like go to Spider-Man, because I think, like, Spider-Man always becomes a poster boy for
He's the epitome of it.
Marvel, right? But what great Spider-Man stories are out there?
No, I agree.
Yeah,
but that doesn't necessarily have anything to do with the character.
But the whole thing about the character is their specific journey and how that kind of defines. That's what we're looking for. You know what I mean?
I don't disagree with that, but I also think that that's not really the subject of what they're talking about here. You know, is that like you just learn who this character is, and Peter becomes relatable because you follow Peter having to get his homework done on time.
Abstractly.
No, specifically.
What? When?
I mean, I could pull out any book there and find some love problem that Peter has going on, some relationship issue, some school issue, and then most of them even have interpersonal relationships with other friends.
But I
issue.
think, but I think that is conceptually an abstract thing. We have like this general idea. Like if I ask you to imagine a chair right now, just in your head, don't tell me the chair, and I'm imagining a chair, right? Our two chairs are probably going to be very different. My chair is it's leather and it has black feet, and there's the feet have paw shapes in them. You know what I mean? But they still sit on something, and we're still agreeing. We can still explain our chairs to Chris, and Chris be like, "Oh yeah, they're both thinking about the same thing with the chair." And I think we had like this idea of Spider-Man, like this general idea of the Spider-Man type character, and I love Spider-Man, but I could tell you some phenomenal Superman events. Specifically, I just did one. You know?
Yeah, well,
that
I agree with that. Though.
Yeah.
I agree that Superman has better stories than Spider-Man. I think that every DC character has better stories than Spider-Man, and I think that every Marvel character has better stories than Spider-Man. I also think that Spider-Man is probably the most relatable superhero, especially for young people.
Yeah, maybe. I think it's become the point where it's abstractly relatable. Just like this.
See, I don't agree.
Okay.
I think that a lot of those things that Peter goes through in his personal life, most of us go through in our personal life almost specifically.
Like what?
Like getting your homework done on time.
But like I don't know if we ever read a comic book that he got his homework done late. I think that is exactly that abstract thing. You're just pulling out something, random, an idea to place on him that may have not happened in any of the stories. That's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about with him.
No, I think that are you suggesting that he never talks about in any book that he's got to get an assignment done?
What I'm talking about is that.
Well, let me answer that so I can move forward with this, so I can have a better understanding.
Maybe not. I don't recall any.
I don't think that's accurate.
Okay, but I mean, you're not talking about anything specifically. That's what I'm saying. Like it's just like this abstract. You get what I'm throwing down with Spider-Man.
I'm just watching this car wreck happen, guys. I mean, this is.
What are your thoughts?
I mean, Spider-Man has been a kid. He hasn't been a kid for 30 years.
Let's get a third.
Okay.
Well, I mean, we talked about this a little last week actually about how the difference between Marvel and DC, and my opinion was the Marvel universe is character-wise, to a normie, to a casual, whatever you want to call it, is richer. Because if you think about DC, who is DC?
Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman.
Right. Well, yeah, those three. Where, you mentioned Marvel. More than likely, the first thing somebody's going to say is maybe Spider-Man, maybe Wolverine.
Yeah,
I'd say maybe Cap and Iron Man nowadays.
Now,
sure. Yeah, if you even go into that.
I'll give you a prime example I'm talking about.
Let me get finished.
Well, let me just add this. Like for Batman, right? When we talk about Batman, we'll specifically say, like in Tower of Babel, when Batman figured out how to take down the whole Justice League. That's Batman's character. Like he's planning, and that element of that specific thing, we'll use that when we're understanding. It's very specific actions that we can fall back on. I think like a lot of the stuff with Spider-Man becomes more abstract. It's just like different concepts.
I think maybe it's the word abstract I'm getting caught up on. I think that
Are you saying? I'm sorry. Are you saying that
like abstract? We can okay. -4. We can't show -4 here, but abstractly, we all understand what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but I can show you these things I'm talking about with Spider-Man. I think maybe speaking in generalities, maybe like I can't tell you the exact homework assignment or the exact thing he had to pick up for Aunt May
because it's not important.
Correct.
Because it's become an abstract idea. We just kind of generally associate this stuff with Spider-Man, regardless if it happened or not. Like I can sit here and tell you a Spider-Man story.
But are you saying that Spider-Man never brought home something for Aunt May?
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying at this point it's not even important to how we understand Spider-Man.
No, I think it is important because I think it has to do with his humanity. And I think that's what makes Spider-Man relatable is that he's a very, very human, regular guy with these powers. Like that, we say that about a lot of people. They're just a regular guy with powers, but he really is the personification of that because we get a lot more of his personal life mixed with the super fantastic life.
Yeah, maybe.
Like I think that is what sets him apart, but I don't even think that addresses the question because I don't think that like even if you don't agree, for the sake of answering his question, let's say that you did agree that Marvel characters were more relatable. If his question is, I can't get into DC because I don't find them relatable, my answer to that is that not everything that you consume you have to personally relate to a character element in order to appreciate. Like Blade Runner. I don't really relate to Blade Runner at all, but I enjoy it. You know what I mean? And it's bigger than that. Han Solo, I don't really relate to. I relate to Ben, but I don't relate to Han really. But I still love that character because it's almost like who I would like to be.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
That's a certain relation.
Of sorts.
Yeah.
But that's not what he means, I don't think, when he says relatable is what I'm trying to get to. And I think that when I read a Marvel book, and let's take a Spider-Man that has these aspects, and I'm like, I get it. This is a regular kid. It doesn't make me enjoy that book anymore to the point where we're both agreeing that he doesn't have many good books. Like, just because something is relatable doesn't inherently make it better or good.
No, I agree. I think we're talking past each other.
No, I'm not
with
arguing.
this. I agree. I agree with that. My whole thing is, I think that what I'm trying to say is that Spider-Man hasn't been a kid for 30 years, right? There's no Spider-Man stories really coming out. Mm-hmm. Like, the kid Spider-Man stories now are basically Miles, okay? But we're talking Peter. Mm-hmm. So the idea of Spider-Man, of like who he is, isn't really literally where he's at in the comics right now. We're kind of falling back to this idealized version of Spider-Man that we're relating to. Mm-hmm. So we're not literally relating to whatever Spider-Man is right now.
Okay.
Well,
right?
hang on.
So, you feel are you tracking with me on that one? So my question is, and this is a question, is like, so if that's the case, what I say is true, right? Mm-hmm. We're just, that's why I'm going to abstract, because it's not Spider-Man Peter Parker who's married or who's running Octavian or Peter Parker Incorporated or whatever. You know what I mean? Because that Spider-Man's not relatable anymore. I think we can agree on that, right? He's like a millionaire.
Because I read Spider-Verse, I still relate to him.
Okay.
You know, I think I think he is like a very human character.
Oh, yeah, okay. I mean, I don't disagree that he's not a human character. I just think that we're not. I think that we're bringing extra baggage to it that isn't there, which is fine. You know, we're bringing the Spider-Man process to it. That's fine. It's not a bad thing, but I'm just saying I almost feel that we're giving it more than it does. Maybe not more than it deserves. That's not right. But we're giving something there that's not really there, and I'm curious to why we do that with Spider-Man, specifically with Spider-Man, because I feel like we give him the relatable pass more than anybody else. You know.
I know. I know what you are saying, but I don't think that we give him that pass. I think it's something that he's earned.
He might have. He might have.
I mean, go through everybody else. Captain America's 100 years old.
Yeah.
Tony Stark's a millionaire.
Yeah.
And the Thor's a god.
Yeah.
Bruce Banner, as discussed, has a little anger problem.
Yeah.
And then you go to the DC side, just from 10,000 feet, you got a rich guy.
Yeah.
That's not relatable to speak of.
Mm-hmm.
And another god and another god. And that's just the big three there.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I agree.
And it's interesting, you guys, how we're using relatable, like, because I think that you can imagine yourself or your desires or whatever, and you're projecting, like, and that can be relatable in some ways, even though, I can.
So I think that every character at some point is relatable.
Yeah, because they wouldn't be.
It just doesn't mean that one isn't more relatable and more apparently relatable. And I think that's what more relatable. I think when you say something's more relatable, I don't want to get hung up on the word relatable, but like I relate to elements of Superman, right? So like I relate to having this part of you to try to keep in check.
Yes.
Right? But I relate to it more with the Hulk.
Okay.
So therefore I find Hulk a more relatable character.
Okay. Does that make you like him more?
No, that's my point.
Okay.
That's my point is because
is he more interesting to you?
No.
Okay.
Because when I read the Hulk stories, even though I may be like, I relate to this.
Mm-hmm.
I relate to this an awful lot. Mm-hmm. It's fine. Mm-hmm. When I read a Superman story, I'm like, fuck, what does this say about humanity? What does this say about us? So what does this say about culture?
Is relatable even so it could say that relatable in that instance, how you explain, is less valuable to you.
It can be. depending on the meat and potatoes you get somewhere else. That is my answer to it.
Okay.
Like, that's what I am saying.
So is relatability even as relevant as other things?
I think it depends on how well the other things are done.
So this is kind of what I'm glad that we're here.
Okay.
Because this is good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm with you on this one because when it comes down to me, like at this point in time, regardless of Peter Parker, I love Peter Parker and he has a place in my heart. But at this point, I don't really think there's as much value. He doesn't have much as value to give to me because I think that, you know, the stories, the mythos there is just, it's training wheels.
I agree.
Yeah, it's training wheels.
I agree. But like,
Sorry, Chris.
No, I mean, no, to get off my back, Maryland Phil probably will have some feeling.
I mean, and it's and like, dude, I'll be in line for the. Like, I just watched the last Spider-Man movie, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was
Homecoming?
Yeah, it was
phenomenal.
I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I'm excited to see the next one. You know,
Corn cob. Eat your corn, Bobby. Be quiet.
no, Aquaman was a tremendously better movie than that movie.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just and I'm not a huge Aquaman fan.
Who is exactly?
Right.
I mean, but like I do like Aquaman. I definitely like the Aquaman with the one hand and the hook and the long hair from the '90s was a cool character.
I'll give you that.
You know,
Sure.
and even the Aquaman in the last DC shows have been pretty cool.
I'm looking for any Aquaman books over here.
no, I think I've won. I think I've thrown of Atlantis. But to me, it's like it's a scale.
And Aquaman's not as prolific as Spider-Man, so
It's a scale.
there's one Aquaman book for every 10 Spider-Man books. Continue.
So like it has to equal, just throwing a number out there that's passable. It has to equal 75, right, in order to be of value.
Okay.
So, like relatability for Aquaman may be at a 5 or a 10, but what he is saying about something else that's bigger, the theme is bigger, maybe at like a 50. So now I'm already at 60. You know what I'm saying? So like that's what it is for me, and it's just that a lot of the DC stories, and sometimes I get it out of Marvel. Sometimes I do. House of M is the first one that comes to mind.
It's a good book.
It's something that I'm like, whoa, this made me question bigger things. This made me feel differently about reality. What does reality mean, and what is happiness within that reality? That's a big question. You know, if you
has this define who you are as a person.
if you could live in the Matrix and be happy, is that more important?
Yeah,
You know, for a 75-year
I know
run.
this isn't real steak, but ignorance is bliss.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, and like, but with DC, I get, and I think that you made a good point when you said at this point in my life, and I think that is crucial. That it like when I got older and I started asking myself bigger questions about the world that I lived in and my inner placement in it,
Existential questions.
that DC helped scratch that itch better for me.
That's fair.
And I think, and it doesn't take away, and I always crack jokes about it, but it doesn't make one inherently better than the other. Another good word, I think it makes one more valuable to one than the other. And it all depends on what you're
perspective,
looking for.
yeah.
Yeah. If you sit down to eat a steak and you're like, well, this didn't taste like pizza at all, then you're going to be irritated with that steak. But if you sat down to eat a good steak and you had a good steak, then that's going to be more to you.
Sure.
Than, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I just and just to circle back for a second, but I would ask any listener right now to like ask yourself sometimes. Sometimes I wonder, we're so eager to like things as we assume that we should like them, and that's one thing that I'm experiencing a lot. I'll give you an example. Let me give you this one example. I used to work at a place and we had this blotter, and it got to be like a log of everything that happened, any work orders or whatever we did, blah, 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 blah. And it got to be to the point where it was like 17, 18 pages of shit every day that somebody had to review and send to all these people to make sure it was accurate. And like finally somebody came in like, well, what is the purpose of this thing? And like one of the guys who used to work there, like back in the day, he worked someplace else. Like, oh, I was like, so we knew if we needed more toilet paper in this one room. What are you talking about? Like, yeah, that's like if we needed like to wash their toilet, it's like a note to be like, hey, we need some more toilet paper up here. And then like they started like doing something else, and it's like, and it just grew into this big thing, and nobody asked, do we ever need this? Is this that good?
Right.
And it became this like fucking. It's like this is bullshit. And I'm not saying comics are bullshit. That's what I'm saying. But like sometimes I feel like we get to like, oh, this character is so XYZ. He's like, well, when's the last time he's been that? When's the last time he's been that great? Because I don't fucking see it. You know, and Spider-Man, unfortunately, like the X-Men specifically, have been trash for fucking ever.
Yeah.
And the only thing that's been good recently is when they go back to the old stuff. My bad. When they go get a little animated, they go back to the old stuff and they like bring like the '60s X-Men in, and that's interesting. You know what I mean?
No, like here's the problem. Here's the problem that I face with that kind of stuff is that sometimes I have a hard time passing judgment on shit that I just don't know. Like I can't say X-Men have been trash for the last 20 years because I haven't read enough X-Men over the last 20 years. You know, and there may be great gems out there that I just don't know about, but I'm not on top of that shit. Like, so it happened with DC actually. Like, I was like, man, Aquaman's been trash for X amount of years, and Dante was like, you need to read New 52 Aquaman. It's the shit. And I read the first trade of New 52 Aquaman. I was like, this is fucking awesome. Mm-hmm. You know, so like sometimes I also think that you can fall out of something and then time passes you by.
I hear you, but the difference is that nobody's been selling you that Aquaman's been great for the last 20 years.
True, but I mean, there's very few people that I know that are even reading Marvel. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, and I've gotten more Marvel recommendations, you know, recently that I've been exposing myself to those people.
Yeah,
those people.
Yeah, I found them in the alleys.
And it's interesting because I'll go out and I'll
that Hawkman shit was fucking phenomenal.
I went out and bought
it's
like
Hawkeye.
Oh, that's what I meant. That's DC on my
Hawkman,
brain.
I don't even know what that means.
I got DC on my brain.
Because I just went out and bought like, you know, it wasn't very long ago, like $150 worth of hardcovers, and they were all Marvel. Mm-hmm. And they were all fucking trash. It was Thor and fucking Spider-Man and some other shit, and I was like, oh, I can't get fucking through this. But that Black Hammer, that shit, I couldn't put that down. I read that in one sitting.
Let me ask you
a question about that. And that was a thick-ass thing.
I'm done with this fucking conversation.
Thick-ass Black Hammer. You said when you were describing that book that they were all interpretations of existing characters.
Yeah, because they're playing on different tropes. You know, they're different archetypes.
All right, so if you take the fact that these other characters exist already, is that if it was a guy turns into a coffee cup, that was his power. I mean,
but I think it ends up becoming a statement on the genre. Like that's why there's like same with Watchmen.
It's in that same vein. But I mean, the thing is like, you know, Hercules, you know, Samson, Hercules, Gilgamesh, you know, Jesus. It's all, you know, those hero archetypes exist, and that's what our comic books are based off of anyway.
Yeah, right. But this is different because this is a deconstruction.
Right,
of
but you specifically mentioned this.
Yes,
right.
Well, I don't even know if it's a deconstruction.
Well, I haven't read it, so I can't say. But a lot of those, of those types of books are.
Yes. It's not. It's taking out a whole new. It's using the familiar concepts and taking out of a whole new bag. It's the aftermath story. I think that's what they were going for. Like what happens after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
I get it.
And it's fucking cool.
Yeah,
sounds like a good read.
Yeah, I want to read it too. He asked for recommendations for non-Batman books.
I actually have one, believe it or not.
Shoot,
I believe it's the correct one. Infinity Crisis.
Oh yeah,
is that the one where somebody's wife gets killed?
That's Identity Crisis.
Identity
Crisis.
That's
yes,
really good.
That book.
Yeah, that's phenomenal.
I read that a while back. That would be my suggestion.
So I would recommend Superman,
Earth
1, all the Earth 1 stuff,
yeah.
But Superman specifically, Superman Birthright, Superman For All Seasons, Superman Alien, what was it, American Alien?
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Superman For Tomorrow.
For Tomorrow was good. For Tomorrow is really good.
A lot of so the Flashpoint, the whole Flashpoint story.
What was the one with Brainiac? The Superman with Brainiac on the front.
Unchained? Is that Unchained?
No.
I don't know off the top of my head. The whole Jeff Johns run on Green Lantern, which starts at Rebirth, it goes through Sinestro Corps, Revenge of the Green Lantern, the Red Lanterns, Agent Orange, Black Lantern, Brightest Day is kind of where that ends. Superman Brainiac. The Flash, The Dastardly Death of the Rogues is a good read.
That Green Arrow by what's his face is really good. By
this one,
Kevin Smith. The Kevin Smith one?
No. That's Green Arrow Into the Woods, but that's also good. So yeah, I mean, those should get you started at the very least. Flash Rebirth is phenomenal.
Oh yeah, that's really good.
He kind of did what he did to Green Lantern. He did it to Flash, like retcon the whole thing and made it fucking awesome.
Yep.
So that's and that deals with, like, once again, those heavier themes like destiny and fate and can you avoid it. And
What was the Infinity Crisis when Superman came back? And
Superboy. That was Infinite Crisis.
Infinite Crisis.
Yeah, now, that one is phenomenal. Unfortunately, in order to get a good grasp of it, you have to read the tie-in stuff. But that is an amazing book.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Is it all in that omnibus?
It's all in that omnibus.
Well, there you go. There's the book.
Yeah, and it's they just got reissued. It was going for like $700, $900.
Are you
I should have
serious?
fucking sold mine.
Oh
it just
my
got
God.
reissued recently.
Yeah, you have never done that shit.
Nope, I never would have because I'd have been too afraid.
Kingdom Come.
Yeah, Kingdom
Kingdom
Come
is
is amazing.
great.
It's amazing.
I'll tell you, Kingdom Come was my gateway drug back into comics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a step above. That's an art piece. You
It
know what I
is.
mean?
It is. And you know what? Not for nothing, as much trash you talk about Alex Ross. It was great, and I'll tell you, man, the Marvels one was not as good.
No, nowhere near
It
as
was
good.
not as good.
Nowhere near as good.
And-
It's literally steak and pizza.
Yeah.
Because the Kingdom Come one was making statements about the superhero genre. It was making statements about the 90s comic book world. Like, it was making larger statements than what it was. And the Marvel one was pretty much about the Marvel characters, which was also good, but it's just one weighs more than the other at the end of the day.
And it's. I really would like to sit down one of these days and look at some of the Marvel movies and trace them back to like what books they were heavily influenced by. But my gut tells me it's like the early 2000s was the majority of the stuff.
It's a lot of the ultimate.
Ultimate stuff.
And the ultimate
for sure.
stuff too. And the ultimate stuff was really good, man.
Yeah.
Really good.
And then we had a mailing question. I gotta go get the baby off the bus here in a second. But,
Baby back.
This is from Joe. He said, "Hey folks, I know out of the three of you, Bobby is really into music, but you guys sound like you're all music fans. With that in mind, what would you pick for a theme song for each of your hosts? Could be anything, like whether it's something like WWE entrance music that would play every time you enter a room, or more like Vader's theme.
Dick just got hard, didn't
Keep up the fantastic work."
So like when Peter Griffin had his personal soundtrack on that he wished.
Yeah. I gotta get. You want to pause it for a second? I gotta get the baby out the bus.
We'll do.
Yeah, might as well see.
All right, so while Bobby's gone, Chris has brought up something. So while I'm scanning my music, tell me about your pro wrestling career.
Oh, so I loved wrestling as a kid and got out of it. Kind of got back into it. I mean, a lot of people did the NWO and
because you are like 6'7", so that does help.
Yeah, and I had an opportunity to train to wrestle back home in Alabama, where I'm from, and it was myself, the guy who would become my brother-in-law that I mentioned earlier.
Yeah,
who married a crackhead, and another friend of ours. Excuse me. We trained poorly for not terribly long.
So is the crackhead your sister?
No.
Or
This is my wife's brother's ex-wife. Is
Okay. I'm trying to make sure I get it.
I am
straight.
of no relation.
Gotcha. I was like, man, you're really hard on your sister.
No, no, I'm not. I don't have a sister, so just one brother. Trained for a while, not very long really, and because of my size, out of the three of us, I was the first one they started using poorly. And I worked several really shitty indie shows. For basically
Like how many
nothing.
matches did you do? You think
Total?
Yeah.
I have no clue.
Do you like the show Glow?
It was phenomenal. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying that show. I'm really enjoying it.
Where I had the most fun was running my own promotion. So after a while of going to these horrible shows, I realized I can do this.
How many years were you wrestling?
I wrestled 2 or 3 years, and then I decided I was going to run my own promotion.
Were you a good guy or a bad guy?
Both.
Really? What were your character names?
I was at first I was the notorious Chris Biggs,
Okay.
and then Chris Castle for the majority of the time.
Was Chris Castle the good guy?
No, it was just
The bad guy.
I just changed my name after a couple months because I thought that name was awful. Somebody
Yeah.
gave me that name. I'm like, I'll take Frank Castle's last name and run with it.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
So what was your gimmick?
I didn't really have a gimmick. I was just actually I stole Kevin Nash's moveset. Who's I don't know if you know who Kevin Nash
Yeah,
is.
I'm familiar.
So he had a pretty simple moveset for a big guy. It was a side slam, corner elbow, power bomb. I basically stole his moveset. When I ran the promotion. I didn't wrestle as much. I was running the show. I did wrestle some. Then we had some really big shows. We paid to bring some names in that were on TV at the time. And after a while, my daughter was born, and I wasn't really going to be able to have the same involvement that I did.
Yeah.
And I sold the promotion. But then I bought back everything but the wrestling ring. And I have it in my basement now. So
You miss it?
I think I do, but then I probably just miss the camaraderie of it more than anything.
Yeah.
Just, it's because it was so much fun running the show and be like, hey, while you're out there, do this stupid thing. So many times you can do this stupid thing,
Gotcha.
Like we had we had people that would bring us snacks and stuff, the fans. Somebody brought us a fruit cake one time. We're like, nobody's going to eat that. We're doing a fruit cake battle royal. And hey, you over there, you're winning. And when you win this and get handed this fruit cake, it's the WWE World Championship. And the kids sold it like $1 million, and it was probably one of my favorite memories of wrestling, is the fruitcake battle royal.
Any injuries or anything?
I blew my knee out, blew my ACL out wrestling. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, broke the top rope one time with all my weight on it.
Yeah.
I remember that distinctly, rotating over, thinking, okay, well, this has been fun. Landed flat on my feet.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, bumps and bruises. My shoulders are both fucked up from it.
Yeah.
And you catch a 200-pound guy off the top rope and he doesn't rotate right, and your 300 and his 200 lands on your shoulder, it's never going to be right again. So I have all sorts of ailments. My brother-in-law doesn't really wrestle anymore. He does occasionally, but the other guy who trained with us, actually, his birthday was this week, so I'm wishing him a happy birthday, but he actually still wrestles locally.
Really?
They're not doing anything big, but I mean, it's fun. I always said to people, it's, unless you're really trying to make a career of it, it's like going and playing golf or,
Yeah.
you're just
Becomes a hobby.
pretending to beat people up. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So was there ever any time where it was like, I'm going to fuck this guy up for real?
Oh, there's shoots all the time. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Or, a guy was like, all right, this guy's booked tonight. And you had a heavy. Everybody had a heavy working for him. Or a guy that was like, knew their, it'd be like having, hey, Dante, break that guy's fucking leg tonight. And Dante'd be like, cool.
Pretty much.
As far as injuries, I had a kid working wrestling for me, whatever. It wasn't even the match. The end of the match, he jumped out of the ring over the top rope to the floor.
Yeah.
Snapped his ankle.
Oh.
Just completely was flopping.
Floppy foot. The old floppy foot.
I got involved with. I built my own wrestling ring. My father and I built it.
Yeah.
And the most money I made in wrestling was renting that ring out.
Oh, really?
And then I had a sound system too, so I brought the ring, the sound, and I did the ring announcing.
Okay.
So I was charging like $700 a night to do that.
Nice.
And I got into the deathmatch scene a little bit.
Yeah.
Where they're doing the light tubes and barbed wire, and it's just crazy. And I saw some really gruesome injuries from that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And people.
So those guys just nuts?
They're crazy. Yeah. That's what my brother-in-law. My brother-in-law was one match away from going to Japan, and didn't to do that shit, and it didn't end up happening.
Do you think like the MMA stuff kind of took a lot of the thunder out of that?
I don't think so.
Really?
I think
I know it's a different thing.
It is, and I think that.
But I don't think wrestling is as big now as it was when we were kids.
I don't know. WWE stock price might disagree with you, but.
Well, that's because of better marketing.
I
don't know if this is popular,
but as far as popularity goes, I think that what you see now is. I mean, we talked about it earlier. There's so many different things for people to do.
Yeah, yeah.
It isn't. Oh, it's Saturday morning at 11:30. Let me go sit down and watch
Yeah.
WWE All Stars, WWF All Stars. It's much more of a. They have their streaming service, and you can watch whenever you want, and they have quite the fan base. As far
People
as
still do that pay-per-view and all that. Like for the
Really?
yeah.
For WrestleMania?
Or whatever the fucking current thing is called.
So all those are available on their streaming service. I pay $10 a month for the streaming service.
Yeah.
And I get all the pay-per-views all year.
And you say you're still in?
Yeah, I watch it. I watched it this morning actually.
Yeah.
I watched yesterday's show this morning.
I just remember going to a friend's house and watching WrestleMania. Then they get like 28-year-olds there.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. Anyway,
Did you guys give songs?
No, we didn't even get that far.
I think mine's gonna be. What would my song be? Something by David Bowie or Queen or something like that. I like some of that you know, 70s rock, you know, something in that vein.
I think mine would probably be Diplomats, the bigger picture, just because it sounds like me. And Chris is looking his up.
Yeah, I used the same song for a long time.
Because you literally had a theme song.
I literally had. I mean, I used several, but the one I used the most was Linkin Park's Meteora album.
Okay.
It has an intro that leads into a song called "Don't Stay." So I would literally hand him the CD and say, "Just play it," because it would play the first two. I used that. I used a Black Label Society song. I used a Fort Minor song. I once came out to Roses by Outkast.
Oh yeah.
Me and this other guy had this. We were the Sex Express. It's a horrible name. And we used
Color me intrigued.
Toxic. We used Toxic from Britney Spears.
Nice.
It's whatever you can do to get a rise. If I had to pick a song today,
Did you see that American meme movie that had the dude from Toxic like talking about like his experiences like outside?
oh yeah, he was that one time. Yeah,
fucking
that was
phenomenal.
wild. That Krillin guy, that was probably the wildest shit.
Yeah.
I'm actually following him on Instagram now, just for shits and giggles. If I had to pick a
Is this
song,
the penis thing, the drawing penises?
No. This is like it's a documentary about like
internet celebrity.
American Vandal is what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
If I
Or making a vandal or making.
I think it's American Vandal, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
It was trash.
They played off the making a murder type.
Yeah, it was trash.
Was it
watched
trash?
Yeah, oh my god. I watched like the first 2 episodes. I was like, this is the dumbest fucking shit ever.
Oh, okay.
if I picked a song for today, it would probably be "Devil" by Shinedown.
There you go.
I like that song.
So now we have to get into Aquaman talk.
Yeah, man.
I guess
King of the Seven Seas.
so. Let's just I would just to be safe. Like if you don't want any spoilers, back out now.
Yeah,
99.
but fuck y'all that wanted to see Spider-Man.
98.
Right.
That wanted to see
Oh,
Spider-Man.
I'm spoiling it. No, we're gonna spoil.
Okay. But we spoiled Spider-Man.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
Actually,
like,
we didn't really spoil Spider-Man.
right.
We showed some things.
Out of 10, what do you give it?
For a comic book movie, I'm giving it a 9.
Okay, I'm giving it an 8.5. So I'm right there
For a
with you.
general movie,
But don't even bother.
why?
I don't know. For me, like when you start,
Well, I
mean,
think all. So there's a reason behind the madness with this. I think all of our listeners are gonna want comic book movies anyway. But if you got to talk somebody into go seeing it, I give it a solid 7.5.
yeah,
As a normal movie.
I might give it somewhere 6.5, somewhere around there for a regular movie. But like for a comic book movie, like it's my second favorite comic book movie of the year.
Can I ask you guys questions about this since I haven't
Yeah,
seen
sure.
it?
Absolutely.
Well, you gave your thing. Does it tie into what they were doing at all? with
Yes.
Justice
Yes.
League?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, just with a couple one-liners. Like
Yeah.
you don't need anything. They just secure that it's
the same world.
that it's the same world and
Yeah.
that it is after Justice League.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna say something crazy, but there's gonna be some context there. It might be the best comic book movie all year for me. Not to say that it's anywhere near Infinity War, but Infinity War is a whole different beast. So like,
I agree.
It's like if I was saying this is the best mule that I've ever seen. This is a beautiful donkey, mule, whatever, and then Infinity War is like a fucking horse. You know what I mean? Like it's just a different animal. It's similar, but it's a different animal. You know what I mean? Because I said this with Infinity War when it came out. It's not even really a movie. You know, it's like the end cap,
it's something
it's
bigger.
Like the part one. We don't have a word for it yet.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's 16 movies leading up to this. It's part one of this crazy intertwined 16 movie arc. It's the crown jewel of this huge project.
Yeah.
But as it just goes for comic book movies, it was phenomenal.
Yeah.
And,
No,
and,
I'm
yeah.
with you, and I think it's
Fucking seahorses, man.
it's
Bobby almost came in his pants when the seahorses came.
like it's just so. What I told Adam like when we walked out, like
I know. It was funny.
I was like, every time that something happened, I was like, this is cool, but it would be cooler if they did this, and then they did that.
Really?
Like
Yeah.
every single time, like there's a giant sea monster that's like attacking, and Aquaman handles it, and I'm like, that was cool, but it'd be cooler if he did this, and then he fucking did that. Like even like about 3/4 of the way through the movie, I'm like, I know this movie is about these sets of things, but it needs to end this way,
and
it does.
Yeah, I mean, it had kind of your romantic kind of comedy aspect in it. It had like your real heartfelt love story. It had like the coming of age piece. It had a little Indiana Jones type of adventure going in there. It had this Star Wars type thing.
To me, it was more Lord of the Rings, but like that epic grand battle
but
scope.
But it was also this world that you'd never seen. That's very there's definitely a Star Wars swag. So the guys, the way their suits look, the Atlantis itself, it had this very Star Wars swag. It also had this Clash of the Titans type of swag.
Right.
But it had a Lord of the Rings swag too, in the very beginning type thing.
No, I think the very end.
Do you guys think that this was I guess they kind of have to watch their P's and Q's maybe a little bit more with Batman and Superman just because it's Batman and Superman. In this character, they're just like, fuck it, let's go all out and do whatever we want and see where it lands?
I think that they kind of just did the right thing.
They did the source material. They did the source material.
Well, that was my next question.
Yeah.
Is this attached to source material
Absolutely.
at all? I don't know. I wouldn't know anyway.
It reminds me of, it actually, ironically, it reminds me of the trade that Dante suggested I read. But it's just like, they gave you the origin, but they didn't spend a whole lot of time on it, and they intercut the origin throughout the movie.
His origin, yeah.
So like, there's and the editing between that is fucking flawless,
It's perfect.
And then
didn't drag at all.
And then there's this I did feel like it drug a little bit around when they end up in the desert. That was the one part where I was like, man, I wish we could move through this a little bit faster. That's the only part that I would say that too.
I'm talking about the flashbacks.
No, not at all. And then there was the origin story is there, and then they deal with the family element of Ocean Master, which is probably the most important element to Aquaman.
And with Black Manta.
And then I'm getting there next.
Yeah.
And then the next thing,
who is Ocean? Who plays that character?
That's
his big bad.
The guy from
oh, I don't know who played him.
He was the owl. He was the owl, Night Owl, in Watchmen.
Watchmen, yeah.
And he was also in the. Was that spooky movie, Annabelle, whatever?
Just because there was somebody I recognized in the trailer. I didn't know he was in there.
And the cool thing, like Ocean, like stuff like this, like Ocean Master's a fucking stupid name, right?
Well, Aquaman's not.
I hear you. Ocean Master's a fucking stupid name. Aquaman too, but Aquaman is kind of.
It's more ingrained in pop culture.
Yeah. But so Ocean Master, you find out there's 7 kingdoms, right? And Ocean Master is a rank of somebody who's running at least for the kingdom's military.
Okay.
So like they added an element like that, and you're like, okay, that's fucking cool. I get that. Like like in a military type of thing, like a quartermaster, somebody who's running all the equipment, or the rear admiral or whatever. At that point, it's like
I'm the rear admiral.
I bet you are. Or lieutenant general or whatever. Like you start to get these more military names. Like, okay, all of a sudden now it's got this cultural element from a military standpoint. I'm totally buying it now. I'm good. I don't have to think about Ocean Master. And when you put the fucking Ocean Master mask on, it fucking emotes like with him.
So it's like the comics, like when he's angry, like the brow, like
I'm like it fucking works. They did the damn thing. It didn't look stupid, and because it's this different world and different cultures and you saw you saw 5 or 6 different cultures inside the Atlanteans.
Yeah,
all
this comic book sourced.
Yeah, it's fucking good. There's some Atlanteans that look like fucking fish, mer people,
just like the comics.
They look like Abe from Hellboy.
There's the trench monsters
that look like fucking demons, like vampires, and then there's people that look like crab people.
And then they explained that like the trench monsters were from the original Atlantean people that kind of lost their mind falling deeper into the ocean. It's just like there's so much world building, so much explanation.
It explained their powers. The fact that they can, their eyes are different because they can see in low light in the dark. They're strong and fast because they've evolved to deal with the pressure of living underwater. And I mean, it's fucking cool, man. Like it works. And then even his fish talking abilities, which we really didn't.
Yeah, it was done well.
Perfect. And the funny thing is that like it explains why they haven't come to the land, because only people of noble blood can breathe air.
Right.
So like the majority of the population can't. They have to have like water tanks carrying around. So it explains their armor and like why they act the way they do, their technology. And it's little stuff in there, and there's kind of this kind of Game of Thrones element with it, with the other kings, because Ornn's not the only king. I mean, it was so fucking well done. I was like, God damn, man. And I think, when you talk about Batman and Superman running their P's and Q's, I think Warner Brothers like, that's Aquaman, do what you want to do. So they went to the fucking source material that's been vetted over the last 50 years, and they made a phenomenal movie. And if they just, well, this is our most expensive toy, so be careful with Batman or Superman. Let's not do that. Let's do this with Batman. That's why they keep on fucking it up.
Well, I mean, and the story of Batman's been told so many times. This is something brand new. So, even to the normies, as you're saying, it sounds like it's a good world build and it explains everything.
I think it's the second best DCEU movie made. I think it's after Man of Steel, and it's better than the rest. It's now. What about?
I have to think if it's better than Man of Steel, or not. It's different. It's definitely shot different than Man of Steel.
It's shot much more like a Marvel movie.
Yeah, it's got Marvel swag. Because it's a lot brighter, but it's a more visually interesting world anyway.
Yeah, but even the tone isn't as heavy as all of the other DC films.
No, I 100%.
Yeah,
100%. There's only one part that's kind of dark and murky.
Yeah,
literally.
But like the mood is just it's more upbeat, which for the most part I could do without, but it doesn't bother me.
Even the jokes are good,
Yeah, some of them I'm still like, so let's move into that criticisms.
The good, the bad, and the ugly.
What criticisms do you have?
So there was a couple things like the intro, like when you saw the Aquaman, title screen. That was kind of like, it's just like schools of fish that are making the letters Aquaman. I'm like, oh god, this is not going to go well, right? But it wasn't ridiculous. It's not as, and trust me, it's not as bad as, it's not like there's 5 fish making an A. It's like 1,000 fish or whatever. Like massive school.
What if there's 3 fish making?
Yeah. Because you pointed over there to me, the fish.
And one of the fish had on a construction hat. And was dressed like a cowboy.
Like,
yes.
So, but like that, like the very last like freeze super scene that he does, that always happens. I think Spider-Man did it too, and it's like the Superman, flying in front of the sun type of scene. That was a little over the top for me.
But I agree.
But that might be it.
But it earned it.
It did. It did. And I turned to us. I said, "That's goofy," but they earned it.
Yeah.
It was like, I think my exact thing.
But like,
because I'm just. Can I do it? Can I do it? I tell him what happened in that one. That last scene.
As far as the rise up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like he's in Atlantis and he like super speeds up with the trident and like so, the water, and he jumps up and like as he's like breaching the water, it like freezes and like this kind of heroic.
And he's in front of the sun.
Yeah. And it feels like, because I'm Aquaman, or whatever. And
Is he dressed like a summer corn cob at that point?
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. But even that fucking costume, like he
awesome.
earns it and it works. And like you're glad, when that reveal happens, you're like, God damn, yes!
Yeah.
I didn't know I wanted to see an Aquaman costume until now.
Yeah.
So and actually, I gotta look at the Justice League one, because I kind of forgot what it looks like.
It's this really dark gold tone with some green.
Yeah.
So the Hot Toys was revealed. I didn't know if that was revealed beforehand. The Aquaman movie one. Have you seen that?
The corn cob one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I looked at that one because after the movie, I was like, "Fuck, I got the wrong one." But I think that the dark gold one is going to play better in terms of display.
It'll fit in better with your Justice League and your DC.
This one right here.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I like the new one better.
I like the new one better in cinema, but looking at the Hot Toys, I was like, I don't like this as much. Then there was the so for me, that end scene, it is over the top, but I'm okay with some over the top in genre. Like I'm good with that. The problems that I had were some of the jokes are, and I feel like that one part drags a little bit in when they go out into the desert, and then the only other the only other issue I had is some of the dialogue is a little rocky.
Hang on, I have a question. Why are the fish people in the desert?
They're not.
Well, the Aquaman and Mera, they're going to find this artifact to figure out how this artifact works in order to find the
It's
Trident.
just the Indiana Jones part.
Correct.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Correct. It's like the adventure element of
But
it.
it's like before, because it was an ocean at one point, the Sahara.
Of course.
So it's the remnants of that culture.
But it's some of the dialogue is a little choppy between him and her, for one, and also between Black Manta and Black Manta's father. Some of that felt a little rocky.
Now, who did Willem Dafoe play in this? That was the actor that I.
Yeah, he's like the Grand Vizier of the king, but he's also the guy that like was loyal to Aquaman's mother and everything. And I'll tell you what, man, and I'm not gonna, but his character is fucking interesting, and I didn't know which way it was gonna go with him. There was some stuff in there that like I felt that was unpredictable in a way, but it just went the right direction. It's hard to explain because you're always waiting for a twist and everything, like the twist of the twist and whatnot. And they made the story really clean.
The
You know what I
movie
mean?
feels like 3 movies packed into one, but
Effortlessly.
doesn't feel like too much for one movie at the same time.
Yeah, this one looks like trash.
Right.
This one looks a lot better.
That's
You made a good choice.
Yeah, that's what
Which
I'm
one?
The green,
Is
the
it-
more green one.
Yeah.
I don't. What's up with these hip skirts, bro?
Hips don't lie.
Yeah, he's got them.
Yeah, but they don't look like that.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it translates well. But anyway, I think that for all for the few flaws that I think this movie has, and I think they're very few, the good is so overwhelming that it's I don't think a better Aquaman movie could be made.
Yeah.
Period.
And Jason
Momoa.
whatever. He's fucking awesome, man. I mean, it was good. It
Yeah.
was good. I think, and like, I don't know, like everything worked, man. I'm surprised. I really am surprised. And there was a lot, like you said before. There's a lot of pieces. There's a lot of going around. You were not stagnant anywhere. I mean, the movie had fucking 50 locations.
Yeah.
Throughout it.
Yeah, and I think
Wow.
I think that might be why
It was moving.
I think that might be why that desert scene drugged to me a little bit. Is just because it was paced like a regular movie and everything else was moving at 1,000 miles per hour. It was it's very very well done.
And
watching. I'm sorry to cut you off, but watching the reviews and how positive the reviews have been, like from review outlets, like like all the big flagship, like Aquaman. Who would have thought Aquaman saves the DCEU? DCEU back on track thanks to Aquaman. Like all this. Like I'm happy that it is getting the recognition that I feel as though it deserves. Like
it's the Winter Soldier of the DC universe.
I wouldn't say that, but
because didn't you feel like
in terms of the
redirecting?
Yeah.
So does it lead you to more adventures in this world at the end of the movie, or
The possibility is
Yes.
still there,
Yes.
and it's still like I don't know where that goes because I don't even know what DC movie is really going to be next at this point.
well, Wonder Woman 2 was the next one
but that got pushed back.
yeah, but
Yeah.
nothing else is even.
And they're talking about Birds of Prey.
in the Joker movie is
Yeah.
filming or film, but I think that's just a completely different animal.
I think the Joker movie is going to come out next
Oh, really?
because that's wrapped.
It just wrapped.
Yeah.
Isn't the Wonder Woman wrapped already?
I don't know, but that one already got delayed. Like it already
Yeah,
got pushed
yeah.
back.
I think that Joker movie is going to be.
I
a
think it's
sleeper
gonna.
hit.
Yeah, I think so too. I
Yeah.
think it's gonna be like.
Dude, you know what I'm kind of hoping for now? I kind of hope they do the 3 Joker thing. I don't even know what that looks like now in the
Yeah.
DC universe. But, at this point, give it to me. I'm down.
Yeah, I had that conversation with. Actually, the guy that works at my post office has Harley on one forearm and Joker on the other. Very well done. And we were talking about that.
Does he make him kiss sometimes?
I don't know.
Only
he
when
might.
he's putting on cologne.
That's right.
But yeah, it's just like I don't know. It's what that universe needed. It's a breath of fresh air.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna go see Bumblebee tomorrow.
Yes,
what's
we
the-
are.
I saw the 5-minute
So-
clip.
Dude, or someone say a nice breath of fresh water.
I saw the 5-minute clip of Cybertron.
Yeah.
I have not watched it.
Is it good?
Oh, it's phenomenal.
Bring it up, man.
But it's 5 minutes of the movie. You know what I mean?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's like it's probably the only 5 minutes you want to see.
Yeah, I don't want to
100%.
see. I don't want to see it beforehand.
100%. Lots of familiar faces though.
Yeah, I'm just excited because John Cena's in it, and you can actually see him.
He does this? What does this mean?
It means you can't see me. That's why I just said that. It's his whole shtick.
Even though I think it's a Tony Yayo dance, man.
Well, he's been doing that
for
since
10 years.
He's been like 12 or 15 years, though.
Yeah, well, I mean, when did Get Rich come out?
2000, it just was 15 years. 2013?
So, you know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I mean, it's okay.
I'm going to wiki that.
That's fine.
You can't see me.
Is Yayo even out of jail right now?
I think so.
Okay.
I can't keep track.
I don't keep up with it.
I know Joel's is going away.
I stopped writing him letters a couple years ago.
6ix9ine is going to be in there forever.
What did he do? Some RICO case?
What did
It's a
6ix9ine
Rico
do?
case.
He tried to play gangster and it backfired on him.
So
Basically what happened.
it's
So is he not really a gangster and trying to
No.
play gangster?
no, it's the opposite.
Okay.
And it's not. I don't think it's so much him. I think it's that a lot of, he comes from this area, and the people that come from, you're a manager, you're a publicist, you're such and such, and the money that was being generated through the records was going into the criminal enterprise because
What were they doing? The drugs?
drugs, attempted murder, conspiracy to commit murder.
It's a RICO case, cut and dry.
Yeah.
But the guy's he's an idiot, basically.
But the some new stuff did come out about that. That's pretty interesting.
What's that?
So they have a wiretap that they released some of the transcripts of.
Okay.
And basically some of the guys that were on his team were talking about killing him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but the interesting dialogue in there is that well, is he still Treyway or whatever, this gang that he shouts out? And to be honest, I think I've said this on Nerve Rage before, but I think he's a lot smarter than he acts because he just went on an interview like a week before he got picked up and was like, Treyway's nothing, some shit I made up. Like, I think he knew it was going to happen and was just laying out the cards ahead of time. But they were like, is he still Treyway or whatever? And then the guy responds like, that dude ain't Treyway. That dude ain't shit. He's no gang member. He's no such and such. So all that shit's going to come out in court. Like, they said it. I'm not a part of that.
Yeah.
Like, the guys you want are saying this about me.
Interesting. It's ridiculous.
It's pretty interesting stuff, though. I mean, just to see a entertainer get hit with a RICO is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. We've never seen it in our time.
We haven't. And it's funny because so many of these guys have basically bragged about that.
Yeah.
And I don't even know what 6ix9ine raps about. He just screams. I don't know.
He does scream. He's very angry.
I'd be angry if
That's
somebody
why
did
you
that.
relate to him.
I'd be angry if somebody did that to my hair and face as well. But,
I'll tell you what, if I was 16 years old, that'd probably be my guy.
oh, yeah.
At 38, I'm like, have you tried exercising or dieting? But at 16, I would probably been like, dude, fuck. I was listening to Joe Budden talk about him, and he was like, yeah, all that shit's cool until you get pinched and blah blah blah. And then he was like, yeah, get on the record, have fun. All my teams are killers. I'm a killer too. Sounds good. Have a good time. And he was like, but draw the line. So funny.
How's Joe Budden doing nowadays?
Oh my god, dude! Like, the dude's out of here.
Is he?
He's out of here. Like, I'm so happy to see him win. I'm sad that it didn't happen the way I would have preferred it to.
Yeah.
But I'm just so for so long of being like drugged through the mud. Like, I'm just so happy that he's in a good place. Like, it's really like a Cinderella story.
It's all about the long form dialogue, man.
Yeah,
he had too much to say in a 3-minute song.
Yeah, that might be true. That's why he has 17-minute songs.
That's right.
Bobby made me listen to a really fucked up Joe Budden song, and it shook me.
Yeah, 3 sides to a story.
I mean, it was a
Pretty
great,
fucked
it was a
up,
great song, but it was fucked up as hell. And he
Yeah.
let my kid listen to it, but that's okay. He hadn't made sense.
I mean, I didn't think it through.
What else we got? Any other questions?
No, I think that's
No
it.
Star Wars news?
No, I don't have any Star. I got to get back on my tabs. I think it's about time because the theory, the rumor is that the teaser drops tonight.
Well, maybe we should look at the internet before you get off this.
Yeah, I'm sure my phone.
Hey,
would've
is that
been
story
lighting
about
up.
Trump in episode 9 true? Did you hear about that?
No,
Dude, that's fucking great. It's fucking great.
I doubt that would be.
I didn't even send it. I didn't even put it in the notes because I was just like, oh man, that's so funny. I mean, I don't think he was literally saying do that. But for those who don't know, like Trump said something about investigation. Some people said people need to investigate why folks think Star Wars Episode 9 is a good movie or Episode 8 is a good movie.
Star Wars trailer title could be released today. That was posted 11 hours ago. It says fans know the movie isn't out until December. Blah blah blah. Source and known leakers have said the first look at Star Wars Episode 9 would drop in December this year, and today, Wednesday the 19th, had been touted as the potential day. December 20th will mark 1 year before Episode 9 arrives in cinemas, with previews on December 19th. Fans have speculated whether the date is therefore significant. But you know,
Son of Darkness or whatever has been the rumor.
JJ did do the trailer for episode 7 a year and a month out, like to the day, I believe. So maybe, I don't know. I'm gassed.
You think it's gonna
The teaser?
You think it's gonna wet your whistle enough?
No, it'll just be enough to make me love it. You know, like it's not gonna like it'll be something small. And I mean, if you look at the teaser for 7, it's nothing. But it got me through 6 months. You know what I'm saying?
Was it 6 months out? The teaser?
Yeah, the teaser was a year out, and then the trailer dropped 6 months later.
Huh.
You know that, and like that was during that time. Like we're seeing much more crunched rollouts now. You know, but like that 2000 whatever the fuck it was, that episode 7 era, that was a year of rollout. You're seeing like 6 months rollout.
Doing
now.
that now.
I don't know. Same thing with like we just got an Infinity War teaser, and that's just coming in April or whatever. So,
Yeah.
You know, like
5 months.
The rollout's so small now.
So did we talk about that teaser?
Talked about it last week.
We talked about it last week. You have anything? You
Okay.
wanna...
I wasn't really that thrilled with it. I was like,
I don't think it's supposed to be thrilling. You know, I
I
think.
don't know, man. The first time it was thrilling.
Yeah, but I think this one's serving a different purpose. I agree with you.
Maybe.
I think they're just trying to set the tone, and that's it.
Yeah, you know what? You made a valid point. It could all be bullshit. It could all be 100%. And you know what? Let's do that. 100% bullshit. Like, none of those scenes are even in the movie. We get there and we're like, holy fuck, they got us.
Yeah,
Because, I mean, it's like, everybody's going to go see it.
because at the end of the day,
It should just be the directors. Like, this should be the teaser. Screen fades from black, and it's the director sitting there like, yeah, we're not going to show you shit. We're not going to show you shit, and guess what? You're going to come see our movie. You know why? Do you know why? Because we own you.
At the end of the day, what matters is that like,
Say we own you.
You're Mickey's bitch.
Say it right up. Say it right now aloud.
is that
Say
it has
it.
to feel right. You know, so like if you go in, like as long as it sets the mood, tone, vibe, and you go in and it all matches up, it all feels right. It doesn't matter if like the one particular scene is, you know.
I'm with you. I'm
So,
with you.
like I'm all for that. I just watched one thing I forgot about my nerd rate week. I watched Ant-Man and the Wasp again.
Uh-huh.
You didn't like it?
It's fine. Look, I think it's. I don't think
I
it's.
think it's fun.
I don't think it's a bad movie at
a
all.
fun romp.
Yeah,
It's a fun romp.
yeah, 100%. I never need to see it again. Like I'm good. Like it's good enough to be what it is. I'm glad that it exists, and that's kind of where I draw the line with it. But I did watch the deleted scenes and all the hoopla. Deleted scenes were trash, and also the bonus features were trash. And I'm seeing this more and more with DVDs is that all the fucking bonus features are just rollout material for the fucking theatrical release. Like, that's not a fucking bonus feature. It's a fucking commercial for a movie I already bought. That I already saw in the theater and purchased. You know what I mean? So, like, you don't have to sell me on the movie. I want to know how it fucking works. You know, like, I'm the guy that bonus features are made for. You know? And I'm like a quarter of the way through the commentary, which is actually pretty good.
Any other insight from the deleted scenes or anything about?
Nope. There's only one that's worth even mentioning, and it's the old Ant-Man and Wasp talking and meeting in the quantum realm and having a bit of a conversation about the quantum realm.
Oh.
That's, like, in my opinion, way more valuable than any joke we got with the 3 jokers that hang out with fucking Ant-Man.
What did they say?
I can't remember, but it was about, like, some of the way the world works down there and all this shit. And,
Damn it. See, now I got to watch it.
yeah. I mean, it's worth watching.
I'm not going to buy
I'm
it.
sure you could pull it up on YouTube.
Probably not. Probably
Yeah.
can.
Yeah.
Everything's on YouTube. Anything? No Paul C question?
No, not that I see.
Huh.
Yeah. What are you going to do?
That's disappointing. Chris, anything else before we call it a day?
I believe that'll wrap up the usefulness of my voice today.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Gave it to you pretty easy today. And that's much of you.
So I'll try harder next week.
And with that, guys, shout-outs?
Yeah. Shout out to the rest of the cool table, End of the Realm, Shattercast Uncut, Beer and Bolters 40K, Plastic Fanatics, Stasis Lock, Toy Detox, and Fresh Communications,
8
building
weeks.
up to it and breaking the mold. I don't shout out 8 weeks is the point.
No point beer both.
I think they're still up there. 8 weeks still up there, and the 8 episodes are still good.
Didn't you guys do it in like 1 or 2?
We did one extra one or 2. I think it was 1 though.
You should put it out.
Yeah, Mickey has it, so
Maybe get on that, man.
yeah, whatever he wants to do. Maybe he just got it. I don't know. But yeah, it was a decent conversation too. But yeah, on Patreon we did a music one. They got a lot of positive responses.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I haven't checked that out yet.
So that was cool. That was cool. I'm going to do a lot more of those. I think I can do a lot more of like that extra regular stuff for Patreon because it doesn't take much time, energy, or effort.
Yeah.
So yeah, shout out to all the Patreon folks. You're keeping the lights on.
How's everybody's response on the song too? Because if you're on Patreon, you
Super
can get
positive.
the song.
Yeah, super
Yeah.
positive.
Now,
Overwhelmingly so.
Now, can you download it from Patreon? And, like,
I
have
think
it in
so.
your normal feed.
I think so.
Okay, that's cool.
I think
that's
so.
Cool. Don't be sharing it.
Yeah,
Don't be sharing it
yeah.
yet.
Don't be pirating my shit. But yeah, that I got one shot left to get for the video.
Yeah,
and it's done, and it's fucking, it's not perfect.
Okay.
In terms of what I envisioned it to be, but I think it's pretty damn good for what my capabilities are.
Yeah, for yourself and a camcorder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's just one shot in particular I put out there that like,
don't ruin it. Don't spoil it.
all
Don't
right,
be me.
just know when you see it.
All right, go ahead.
There's a shot that involves Laura, and then a shot of me coming down the steps, and it is my favorite cut in it, and that's it.
All right. With that said, great tits.
Tasty taint.
Tight take player.